Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to This is Maria. In this episode, we're talking about the ending of the cycle, the time that we find ourselves in right now, why this time is so special, why it is absolutely not random that you have shown up on planet Earth right now.
Have you seen the Scentbird CEO? She does a podcast with her eyes closed to talk to spirits and said Hitler wasn't bad. What? The Scentbird CEO does this. Wait, I know Scentbird. Hold on a second. Yeah, wait, you're right. The Scentbird CEO claims to be a spiritual medium. Or, sorry, not a spiritual medium, a spiritual guru. The co-founder of the Netflix for Fragrance, Mariah Nuraslamova, has been moonlighting as a spiritual influencer. Comments on extraterrestrials, The Matrix, and Hitler have recently attracted negative attention. Your teeth are not randomly crooked, there is a spiritual meaning. Every little aspect of the tooth is a map, right? This sounds beautifully unhinged. Can I see some of these clips? What? Keep reading for $1. You got some absolute nerve, huh? Hold on. I want to see some, supercuts of Scentbird CEO spiritual readings. Okay, hold on. Let me just try going to YouTube for it.
Hi, hello, and welcome to my spaceship, vegan aliens only, and if you've had your wisdom teeth removed, please lower your voice when you speak to me. If you don't understand anything of what I've just said, well, don't worry, because a month ago, I wouldn't have...
Alright, here we go. Let's see. This is the... I can't find the clips anywhere else right now, so right now, completely reliant on the YouTubers here to bless me with this info. I want to see these readings. Thanks to Tier 1 Mid, and the resub Van, Ham, and thanks Kyle. And 40k seems like something fun. I just still haven't gotten into it yet.
Version of the Matrix will be the default one. The 5th version of the Matrix is actively being incubated, and according to Maria, it's showing really good signs and is looking promising.
Now there is a new version of the Matrix that's being currently incubated. The 5th version of the Matrix.
Matrix 5?
That one is showing signs of really good promise, so...
Maria mentions having a direct...
Wait a minute, I need to go to our website. There's a Matrix 5 dropping? It was This is Maria. So this is where she does her readings. She is the CEO of Scentbird, which I think many of you have probably seen through YouTube sponsors. They were pretty big on influencer marketing, from what I recall. Here we go. I've broken into the 5th Matrix now. I think this has everything. How do I play sound? Oh, here it is.
It's not at all negative, but it is everything. So when you are inviting black into your body, you're not inviting demons, God forbid. You're not inviting evil into your body. You are inviting this moldable substance that contains all life inside, that contains all light inside, that contains the entire spectrum of everything.
Okay, so she's about to cast a hollow purple. I don't really care about that. Where did she do, the spiritual readings, where she talks about Hitler and everything? Is she a witch? I imagine she would like to think people... I believe she would like people to think she is. But no.
Direct connection to the architect, and that he wanted her to make this specific podcast episode on parallel reality / the multiverse. And when I first saw this, I was stunned. I mean, I'm in the presence of an architect, of the Great Architects Council of Light, but sadly that
is big.
The case.
That is
that
big.
Automatically crushed while listening to her guided meditation for an ultimate womb detox.
And whoa, an ultimate womb detox? Whoa, hey, hold on, I can use that. So that was a YouTube video. I can definitely find that. Let us all detox our wombs. Ah, here we go. She has a YouTube channel. She doesn't post these on TikTok, it doesn't seem. Alright, that's why it was so hard for me to find. I thought it was only TikToks.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome to Our Sacred Universe, a podcast where we meditate together.
I'm ready.
Today I wanted to offer you a womb healing practice.
Thank you.
Our womb space is where we deposit a lot of our hurt, a lot of our pain, a lot of our suffering. I know usually when we think of the womb, we only think of women, but a womb space, or if you will, our sacral space,
I
is
have
something
that.
that everyone has.
I have
And
nipples,
so
Greg.
I
Can you milk me?
invite you, whoever you are, to do a womb healing with me today. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. If you haven't checked out my book yet,
No, hold
it's
on. I don't need the
out.
hashtag ads here. Just give me my womb needs a little bit of assistance here. Okay.
And close your eyes.
Hey, appreciate it,
Imagine that
Belvedere. And
you
yeah, there's a P.O.
are
box.
seated under a large
There's a command for it.
waterfall.
Thanks,
This
Pajama.
waterfall is
I hope it went
majestic
well.
and falling straight from the heavens. Feel the droplets of this waterfall on your skin, all over your body, gently enveloping you in peace and serenity.
I don't need that though. I need womb stuff.
I want you to imagine how the waters of this
Flame.
womb area
Oh, here we go.
in your lower belly keep breathing in and out.
Imagine I just have a full body
using the
orgasm
power
from
of
this.
your breath to ground and center yourself. Invite the healing vibrations of the universe to enter the sacred space of your womb. Through your breath.
See, like, we skip a step. How do I invite the healing vibrations of the universe to fuck my womb or whatever? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I send out the distress signal? That's where these guided meditations always fall apart for me. Like, they make it sound like it's so easy that I can just call upon healing vibrations. Like, I'm not a shaman. Like, can you call it for me? Book a reservation. Yeah, what availability do the healing vibrations have in the universe? I imagine they're probably pretty booked up. I forgot. I didn't even check. Why are you detoxing your womb? It sounded helpful. If you're just tuning in, to give you context, this individual, Maria, is the CEO of Scentbird, which is actually a pretty big company, or at least it was. I don't know if it still is. And according to Chatter, the Scentbird CEO has found herself into some controversy because of this line of work, where apparently she was saying that Hitler wasn't bad through her spiritual guru sessions. And I'm trying to locate that, but I'm getting all like sidetracked here, going through these alternate branching paths in the visual novel. So I'm still looking for that, but it's such an interesting tangent. So here, I'll stop detoxing my womb. I think more than effective. Probably already finished that. A new era is upon us. Why your soul chose to be here and what the end times are all about.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to This is Maria. In this episode, we're talking about the ending of the cycle, the time that we find ourselves in right now, why this time is so special, why it is absolutely not random that you have shown up on planet Earth right now. What are we ending? What are we beginning? And I will share a few interesting facts and peculiarities, if you will, around how souls usually plan incarnations in the times that we live in. What determines how higher selves think about what is important, what experiences are pivotal as, they are going through an incarnation on Earth in this pivotal time. Now, before we dive in, I wanted to let you know that apart from making videos like this one, I also host healing circles. There's usually about one circle every other month, or about one circle a month.
Okay. I don't need the ad. Just
that are
tell me what the end times are.
Converging in this one spot, in this one time and place, if you will. And so it's a number of circles or cycles that are ending.
I have not seen that, Cam. When was
hopefully
that?
we'll begin anew. One of the transition.
All right, I'm already tuned out here. Where is the really wacky shit? The dark truth about coffee, it is a toxin that darkens your aura? What? Coffee is bad for your aura? Is it? Damn it. Captivating.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Maria. Please subscribe below so we can be YouTube friends. Today we're talking about coffee, specifically coffee from the spiritual perspective. I will share what my...
Why? It's such an interesting thing. Like, we need to analyze coffee from a more spiritual perspective here. Why would you ever do that? Who cares? Thanks, Resubs.
guides have said, spirit guides that is, about coffee, how much and if I am drinking coffee, and what I would geeking up to for coffee is one of those products that darkens your auric field.
Okay.
It darkens your light bodies.
Naturally.
What does it mean? So essentially, when coffee gets into your physical body, it impacts more than your physical. It impacts your energy. Obviously, we know that. That's why a lot of us have coffees, because we want to pick me up. We want an energy spike.
Yeah.
But
it's a stimulant.
When coffee is giving us an energy spike, it also darkens our aura as it does. As it does so, as it works with our body. So it's almost like when coffee gets into your aura, it creates these little anchors or these little dots of itself. It's almost like it gives an energetic imprint into your body.
What?
And though that energetic imprint is kind of what causes an addiction, because it's going.
The energetic imprint is what causes an addiction, and it darkens our aura through that. How the fuck does it touch my aura? How in the world?
It's gonna start making you want to reach out for the next cup, and the next cup. But not only that, over time it really darkens your aura in the same way that, like, physically, on the physical level, it darkens your yellows your teeth. Energetically, it darkens your aura. What is the problem with a darkened aura? A lot of things. When we are in the spiritual path, and in general, if you think about the evolution of souls, and I'm going to go very lofty, and then we're going to come down for a quick second. When our souls evolve, like at soul level, when you evolve,
okay,
over time, what ends up happening to your soul is you accumulate more and more light in your body. So you grow and expand, and you grow and expand by accumulating more light and kind of releasing darkness, if that makes sense. Over here,
it makes so much sense, actually.
Things in your life are dependent on how much light you can hold within your body, especially if you're on spiritual path. For people that are able to hold on a lot of light in their auric fields, their spiritual gifts open up. Their abundance channels open up. Their
abundance
talents open
channels?
up. Essentially, like, their higher selves come through, and then the body is considered clean, so your higher self is willing to inhabit more of your physical body.
What is happening?
And therefore, you will always have connected. You become a channel. So in other words, when you are in a spiritual path, when you are in a path of awakening, how much light you can hold in your etheric body, in your light bodies, if you will.
That's a lot to process. She's blowing the lid wide open on what it means to be alive. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Harley. I don't know how to help with your drivers, though. Okay, let's just... coffee's bad. That's what I took away from that. Now I know. C-section babies have to hear this message? Just C-section babies? Your higher self gave you this name for a reason. I mean, it's my dad's name. Is that the reason my higher self gave it to me? These are so interesting. I'm never going to find the video where she's apparently talking about Hitler. I'm just going to keep going down these wacky fucking titles. Why did my higher self name me Charles?
Hello, my darlings.
I feel like it's because it's my dad's name.
This is Maria. The topic for today is Maria.com. All right, the mystery of the name. This is kind of a fun topic.
It's not a mystery.
That is
it's just not a mystery for, like, most people.
I don't think it would be a surprise for those of you that have listened or have been listening to me for a while.
Crazy. The tier one
names are not random. In fact, nothing is. Your higher self goes to great length to plan everything around your upcoming incarnation. And that planning is quite meticulous. So your higher self is very particular around which parents it wants to be born to, what country, what city, etc., etc., the level of income of your parents, what traumas they have, etc. So everything is done.
Oh, I meant to look into that,
in
blah, blah. I haven't
accordance
checked it
with
out yet, though.
the vibrational
With those
law,
new
the law
rules.
of resonance, right? So there must be a resonance between how your higher
use of
self
toe.
feels and the experiences that it is looking for and what your current family can provide. Interestingly enough, the selection of the name is just as important as the selection of the birthday, if not more important in some ways, because a lot of your identity, right, a lot of your ego is a fixed identity, is going to be built around your name, whether you realize
Must be
this or
amazing,
not.
Scott, yeah.
Some of your major traumas can become very apparent
Oh, you
through
might be
how
onto
you
something,
feel
Astro.
about your name, whether you accept your name or you don't. For the people that don't love their name, it is usually an aspect within themselves that they are denying. So essentially, anytime you display any kind of the vowels and the consonants in the name through the letters in the name connects you to certain aspects of universal flow, universal energy, if you will.
Huh?
And because you're so attached in a good way to your name, you have a claim over those energies.
Okay, I claim all of the energies of CHARLE and S. No one else can have them. That's my domain now, and I'm kicking everyone else out. I have become your tyrant. It's called the Blanket of Self-Love. Oh, no. You just saw this down here. Blanket of Self-Love. She has something about masturbation. Well, that darkens your aura. I already know that. I'm familiar with the aura spiritual channels of the universe. Or the masturbation spiritual channels of the universe, pardon me. I'm just going to type in, see if I can find it. Not the masturbation. Actually, the masturbation too. Fuck it, let me see. One thing that did come up, though, is called the Karma of Atlantis. It's time to release it. Here's how you can do it right now. Like, raise Atlantis myself? I can do that? I'm far more powerful than I thought. Okay, let's just do the other video then.
Some of my
So, 50 seconds.
favorite YouTubers have promoted a brand that normally wouldn't show up on my scam/problematic radar scanner.
Scentbird.
Scentbird.
Yeah, I told you it was a big
is a
thing.
subscription
Told you that.
company that at least outwardly looks successful. It's not
Thanks,
an
Your Worship,
MLM.
Joshua.
It's
And
not
hey.
promising to cure cancer. So why do I care? It's because the CEO of Scentbird, Maria Nurislamova, stinks.
Our bodies choose to miscarry children.
Oh.
It's not an accident that happens, it's a choice. If people were to align with their life purpose, we would see a lot less cancer on planet Earth. You could heal yourself from any disease. I don't care if it's cancer. I don't care if it's AIDS. It could be whatever. But you could heal yourself in the span of under 7 days. We're going to talk about the spiritual reasons for being overweight. Like, look at Hitler, who's one of the poster children for, like, being an evil person. Do you know how many millions of souls benefited from learning from the experience that he has created? So is he evil? Not really. I don't think so.
Wow, Maria. Those spiritual sessions are sending you down the loony path. I want to see the... Can I find these, like, individually? If your heart is open, you can heal any disease. Let me see if I can find that first. Oh, here we go.
Right now we're living through a time of a lot of hidden agendas by the powers that be. And those hidden agendas remain hidden because there is not enough heart space energy in humanity to be able to bring them to light. The heart energy is always the energy of light. The heart energy is always the energy that essentially you emanate your energy from the heart. The heart is one of those energies that if your heart is activated internally, you can heal your whole body in the matter.
I will say, if your heart isn't activated, you're probably not watching this video in the first place. You are dead. Most likely. Bearing some, like, very fringe cases.
Matter of days, you guys. If your heart truly is operating at the level that it is meant to operate for you, you could heal yourself from any disease. I don't care if it's cancer. I don't care if it's AIDS. It could be whatever. But you could heal yourself in the span of under 7 days. That is the power of the heart. It changes your internal ecosystem and it changes your external ecosystem. It just does. It is meant to. It is.
Well, who knew? Who knew? It's like breathing techniques from Demon Slayer, but for your heart. It can do anything.
Designed to. It is a beacon of light. It's the torch. It's the one thing you should follow. The reason being, on this planet Earth, you know, if you want to listen to my episode about the 5-pointed star framework, I think it was either episode 92 or 98, one of those. The next step in the evolution of humanity on this planet in particular is to open up your heart. Everything else is a dead-end scenario. And so far, we're not doing too great. And that's why, for as long as, you know, humanity is going to be gifted a war, and the reaction to the war is not going to be the correct reaction, we're not going to get the hearts of humanity to open. Right now we're living through...
What the fuck does that... What war? What happened? It's just like a bunch of gobbledygook. This is like... There's nothing that binds these statements together. It's just like a random assortment of words that have no real meaning. Was there a title for it?
Span of poster child. Children. For his one of the spiritual reasons for being overweight. Like, look at Hitler. He's one of the poster child. Children.
This one looks like a YouTube video. I'll check her TikTok anyway, but this one appears to be a YouTube video. I get so distracted by so many cool titles. She has one here called Babies Control How Long Their Birth Is. Like, this is unhinged. God damn it.
That's why certain births take so long, is because it's like the baby, like the mother cannot do all the pushing. In other words, or the mother cannot do 100% of the work. The baby also has to participate in the birthing process. And if the baby is in a state of resistance, if the baby is in a state of fear, if the baby doesn't want to access their masculine energies, the birth process is going to take longer. That's why someone...
Wait, what? The baby doesn't want to tap into its masculine energies, so it doesn't want to be birthed? What the fuck? The baby comes out like scoops of, like, creatine. What in the world? Shit's not even born in amniotic fluid, it's just like a bunch of, like, trin. What is this? What is she talking about? This isn't even spiritual. There's a link to the Discord, Bagels. I found the video, look it up, it's called This Is Maria Q&A. Oh, huge, thank you. That's for her Hitler statements, her stance on Hitler. How does God perceive time? Does God have a shadow side? And other questions answered. This one? Oh yeah, here we go.
Hello, dear ones. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Maria. Today we're doing a Q&A video that I've been wanting to do for months, I feel like. Thank you all for submitting your great questions. I know as you are listening to my podcast, watching my videos, things do come up.
Oh, here, it's probably this. Can a higher self be evil?
Can a higher self be evil? How does a higher self guide an incarnation who meant to enact evil?
I have a hard time answering the question about evil because there is such a big gap between how humanity perceives good versus evil and how, you know, even beings in the seventh dimension perceive
the seventh dimension. Who's in the seventh dimension?
Higher self perceives
Glorbus? Like
how source
who are you communicating with in the seventh fucking dimension?
From the perspective of source, everything is an experience. From the perspective of your higher self, everything is a learning opportunity.
Thanks, Resub Agadina.
So they're not so quick at putting a label
Thanks, membership V.
a happening, an event, or a circumstance. In fact, so like they don't like putting the word evil on things.
Why?
And they don't even perceive that as such. In other words, being murdered by someone and murdering somebody, from a perspective of the higher self,
that's a horrible take, Anonymous.
Considered
Yikes.
all good, right? Depending on the intention. And here is where the core crux of this issue lies. Let's say you're, and again, not stepping back. Let's say your higher self wants to understand murder.
Should be easy
It's just
to understand.
a fascinating subject for your higher self.
Okay.
If it wants to understand murder,
Jesus Christ.
the angle. So your higher self may choose to come as a victim, as the mother of the victim, as the father of the victim,
Why?
as the teacher of the victim.
Why
as
would
the
it want to?
murderer,
So, based on what I've gathered, very limited exposure to her spiritual guru benevolence, it seems like She believes you are the product of your higher self wanting to be experimental. So when something bad happens, it's because your higher self is trying to learn about it. So here, she's using murder as an example. So if you are someone who gets murdered or associated with the victim of a murder, it's because your higher self wanted to be in that position. It was all predestined because your higher self wanted to be present for it, to learn about it. Which is the dumbest idea ever. That's actually the stupidest fucking idea. An hour and 3 minutes for the Hitler stuff? Okay. Thanks, you sub Will and Hooligan. The membership, Lark and Tood.
For another person. And by the way, like, look at Hitler. He's one of the poster child children for, like, being an evil person. Do you know how many millions of souls benefited from learning from the experience that he has created? So
The
here,
world serpent has awakened?
You know,
Like the tier 1
look
hell
at
and Goldie.
a character like him and be like, oh, he's completely evil. And upstairs, his experience was the greatest, one of the greater, sources of knowledge of 3D planet Earth warfare.
3D planet Earth warfare.
And that is benefiting
What?
so many different souls on their.
This is a very interesting take, Maria. So, there's a lot to unpack there, Maria. There's a lot to process. The healing vibrations of the universe have not been kind to her frontal lobe. Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Evolutionary path. So is he evil? Not really. I don't think so.
So interesting. So just it means that some higher selves choose to take this path, and it seems like it's maybe a bit less desirable than other ones because we don't have that many murderers and mass murderers especially, right? But they still choose to do so for their own development. Like,
Well, do you want me to give you an even better example?
yeah.
That was an incredible
Do you
example,
think playing
Maria.
World of Warcraft is evil because you're killing things?
Like in a computer game,
Yeah.
people don't think it's evil, yes.
I know. Same logic. It's a computer game from higher self level. Like, fine. Like, I don't know. Any of those are
Same logic. Yeah, killing goblins in World of Warcraft is the same as Hitler for the Holocaust. You hypocrites. What an interesting character she is. Her higher self has very much done her a great justice. Her enlightenment is astounding. She's trolling? I don't know. She has a whole career based out of this, and apparently you can even pay for these sessions privately. But her main hustle is Scentbird, which, again, is a pretty popular product, or at least it was for a little while. She's the CEO of it. Or at least was.
RPG games. I think RPG is what they're called, right? Like, where you, like, go and, like, murder, all kinds of beings.
They're not
which way to
beings.
Sunday,
They're
with all kinds
pixels.
of weapons, and you're like, I need this strength, and I need this skill, and let me have this gun, and I want a bigger gun, and even more bullets, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you go in, you may have murdered 1,000 beings.
They're
on
not
the
beings.
screen,
They're not real.
and then you go on your merry way, and nobody's pointing a finger at you at work and being like, this is a mass murderer. But how is that any different? So that's what I'm
That's
saying.
so
Like,
good.
What you perceive as
Oh
evil
my god.
is not the same experience. Now, you as an avatar, right? You as a person who chooses to play a game, you choose what game you want to play, right? Like, you may go and play Candy Crush. You may go.
She's so fascinating. Like, like she's dangerously stupid. Like, actually stupid to a level where it could be harmful to people around her. Like, there's nothing wrong with being, like, harmlessly dumb, but when you start to cross the threshold, the event horizon that she's to the point where, like, she is actually probably a threat to the safety of those around her. I was gonna watch this one as well. This is about Sam Pepper. I'm sure a lot of you remember Sam Pepper if you've been on the internet for any length of time. Sam Pepper was an old prank channel who got notoriety when he did the kidnapping my best friend and executing his friend in front of him prank. I'm pretty sure it was faked. I'm not really sure, but either way, it was really disturbing and weird. And then he turned into just a full-blown scammer. So he's taken big part in a lot of the NFT scams over the last 4 or 5 months, however long it's been. He's been like an integral part to scamming people in all of these big crypto scams. Yeah, he used to be friends with ICE. He used to go on a lot of their little misadventures. But now he's just a full-time scammer. And I guess
when
on
Sam Pepper
TikTok.
changed his TikTok description to the 2 words lottery winner, then claimed to have purchased an island in Thailand for $8.9 million, it was certainly bizarre and suspicious.
I have a budget of around 10 million. I can drive my speedboat directly in here, put a panoramic window right in here. I shook his hand, 8.9 million, great deal.
What was even stranger was that Sam hadn't provided any evidence for this unexpected lucky win. No receipts, no specification as to how much he had won, no news articles about
it's
TikTok
TikTok.
winning the lottery.
They're
The
fucking
only evidence he had was his own
dumb.
personal
Like, they don't even have
anecdote.
object
I recently
permanence
won
yet.
the lottery as some
photo taken out the front of Bilzerian's LA mansion.
I think unironically, being Sam Pepper has to be truly miserable. The man's entire life, from everything I've seen, has been just living a full-blown lie. And I don't think he even has that much money to his name. I remember not that long ago, I think he was homeless. So he just lives a full-blown fake fabricated life and doesn't even make a living off of it because he has so many problems and just wastes all the money he scams. What a crazy cycle. What a absolutely, truly awful existence.
This video will cover the story of a man who faked, frauded, and swindled his way to social media and
Thanks to
TikTok
Prime.
success, being
Dudes.
exposed at every single point in his journey, yet still
I heard
managing
about
to
that
maintain his
vaguely on
relevancy
Twitter,
over a
ISOE.
10-year
I was gonna look
period,
into that.
albeit with one of the worst reputations in internet history.
All this stuff is fake. Like, we believe it all, but it's really fake.
Before
Is
he
he
would
some
fake
gamer?
his way to success on TikTok with videos like this one, in which he'd gotten someone to dress up as Justin Bieber.
Is that Justin Bieber? Yeah. Oh my god. What do you call a gal from Canada that can't sing? Justin Bieber.
Sam Pepper had a prolific reputation on YouTube as one of the fakest pranksters on the platform dating back to the early 2010s.
So I
Yeah.
worked out, oh, okay, I can do these pranks that these other channels are doing. And
He
I
was
can
one of the
just fake
first
them,
internet
like,
punching
like,
bags.
fake videos.
However, prior
Or
to
for
even
YouTube
this,
punching
Sam Pepper
bags.
had already begun to show his fake persona to the world in 2010 when he would appear on the show Big Brother UK for the very first time. In his Big Brother profile, he claimed to particularly dislike girls who put on a dumb act, yet this is seemingly what Sam began to gain a reputation for in the early days of his online career. However, one advantage that he did get out of his appearance on Big Brother was traffic to his brand new
Thanks,
YouTube
Recent
channel, where he
Carbonated.
began to do pranks at a time when there were barely any other YouTubers doing pranks on the platform.
And there's like 3 channels that made pranks. There was me, there was like Prank versus Prank, and there was Ed Bassmaster. Really, they were the only kind of...
Damn, what an
prank
OG
channels out
Ed.
there.
And in the beginning, it was obvious that they were real. The reactions felt authentic,
Thanks,
and there was
Recent
way
Wizard.
too many people in each video for Sam to have been paying all of them.
I'm really sorry, guys. I've just farted. Sorry, guys. I've just farted.
You should have a bit of respect and a bit of manners.
Yeah, sorry,
What
man.
kind of an animal do you think
I couldn't
you are?
hold it in.
What kind of an animal do you think you are?
I know. I'm sorry. I did say sorry. Sorry.
However, in 2014 and 2015, Sam ran into a problem. He
Yeah,
began to
here it
experience
is.
Massive levels of competition from other YouTube pranksters who were faking their videos.
Then all these other
Didn't he
prank
go to the
channels,
UK
they
after
started
Save the
coming
Kids?
out
I don't know
and
what he
they'd
did
be
after
doing
that.
more and more and more crazy stuff. Because I come from doing pranks, I'd be like, there's no way they could be doing that. And that's when I worked out all this stuff is fake.
This was clearly
It doesn't take a
defining
genius
point
to know
for
that,
Sam
man.
Pepper and his social media career.
Anyone over
At
the
some
age of
point in their
14
journey,
knows
each
that.
of these fake pranksters have this similar awakening where they realize they can get way more views if they simply fake whichever reaction they desire, and that there's no actual requirement or guideline saying that their pranks need to be real. Each justify their actions by saying that a bunch of things on TV are fake, or this is fake, or that is fake, and as a result, there's no reason as to why their pranks can't be fake either. Now, faking stuff for social media is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Sure, it increases the quality of the videos massively, as you're going to get that exact reaction.
It's not really high risk.
However, this only lasts until the audience inevitably discovers that the videos are fake, making it optimal only in the short term. We discussed this in the video talking about how Vitaly destroyed his reputation. As soon as the audience discovers that you faked even one video, they assume that every single video you've ever made is fake, completely removing all of your credibility in the space of about a month. The point at which Sam Pepper's audience discovered that his pranks were fake is pretty damn obvious. On his social blade, he went from gaining 100,000 subscribers every single month consistently between January 2013 and September 2014. However, 1 month later in October 2014, the growth not only stopped, but he began to lose around 10,000 subscribers every single month. The catalyst for this massive dive in viewership was a video titled Fake Hand Ass Pinch Prank, and after receiving a barrage of criticism from other YouTubers,
prank idea.
His most recent fake hand ass pinch garnered the most negative attention because he was grabbing women's bottoms without their permission,
as well as a trending hashtag on Twitter stating "Report Sam Pepper." He had no other choice but to admit that the video had been faked.
I want to say that all the videos were staged and scripted. It goes without saying you can't go around touching people's bums without asking.
It was a double whammy, or two for the price of one. Not only had he been exposed for faking pranks, but he also had his name dragged through the mud as a result of the backlash from the video. Sam began posting real pranks again following the expose in the hope that it'd fix his reputation. However, as mentioned previously, once your audience knows you faked even one video, they assume they're all fake.
Yeah, but you
Switching back
still
to real
have
pranks
the
failed to
audience
stop
to
his
some
declining
degree.
subscriber count, so Sam made a decision. It was time to go back to faking his videos.
I'm still making videos, and then it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, well, I've made fake videos before and they've done well and they've got like decent views. Why don't I make, another video? And that brings me on to making the best friend killing prank.
Yeah, that's the
best
one.
friend killing prank. Arguably one of, if not the most over-the-top insane YouTube pranks of all time. Certainly crazy enough to put Sam Pepper's name back on the map. Involved in the video was the fake kidnapping of two friends, after which one of the friends
I remember
was
this
killed
well.
right in front of
I remember
the
this
other,
very
with the
well.
premise of the video being how will someone react if they watch their friend get killed.
Let's see how he reacts to his best friend of 5 years being killed in front of him.
Obviously, the whole thing was
What a good
fake.
prank.
All three people were in on it, even coming up with the idea together.
Sam's channel, he just came to us and wanted.
What would happen if I
to do a viral
executed
stunt,
your
and
family?
Okay, cool. We'll help you out with
Would
this
he
viral
find
stunt.
it enjoyable
So we
when I
actually
reveal
all
they're not
three
dead?
Came up with the idea together before we even filmed it.
However, while everyone knew that the prank had been faked, it had a similar effect to the previous scandal.
Did you know making this type of prank would be so controversial?
All it did was once again reveal to everyone that Sam Pepper was the kind of guy to fake his videos, reducing his credibility even further. With this in mind, it's no surprise that almost all of his audience bailed on his YouTube channel from that point onwards. He managed to stop the decline of his subscriber count for a couple of months in late 2016 as shown on screen. However, he'd thrown the towel only a couple of months later, uploading his final video on the 5th of March 2017 before departing with a legacy as one of the most deplorable fake pranksters in YouTube history. Around a year later, he'd show up on the CX network doing some IRL live streams alongside Ice Poseidon.
We're literally just showing Sam the ropes of IRL streaming, and just, we're gonna just throw him in the deep end here and just see how he does.
With the
Damn, I can't believe it's already been like
so
4 or
downtrodden
5
that the top
years.
comment on the video praised Ice Poseidon by stating, "Love how you don't judge people or care about reputations." Sam had some success as an IRL streamer in the CX network, however, he was ultimately dropped after an argument with Ice Poseidon, which had partially been fueled by Sam Pepper's lack of integrity.
He's like, oh, it's okay to lie as long as it doesn't affect anything. And that's not okay. Like, why are you telling my girlfriend it's okay to lie to me as long as it doesn't affect anything? Like, dude, this is not your relationship.
After this, Sam Pepper disappeared from the mainstream. His
Until
was
crypto scams,
destroyed, he had nothing
baby.
left to offer, and it seemed as though the Sam Pepper saga was finally dead and buried, alongside the many other failed YouTubers.
He's
that
just an
had
actual
come before him.
cockroach.
However, it would be when Sam Pepper found
always
a
comes
new
back.
audience on a new platform that his fraudulent antics
I didn't know
would
about the TikTok
continue.
thing though.
Okay, Chris, I pulled out some of my savings, I've clipped it onto these balloons. This is a trust exercise. Turn around, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, go. You've got to turn around and quickly grab them. Don't let this go, this is my savings. 3, 2, 1. Chris!
Oh
This video, which
no!
was clearly set up and probably used a stack of fake $100 bills, racked up over 28 million views. Now, the most interesting part about Sam Pepper's TikTok blow-up is that it follows the exact same trend as his YouTube journey. He blows up with a genuine, heartfelt video about saving some duck eggs from a restaurant, then progressively makes his content more and more staged, and by the end he's claiming that he's won the lottery with absolutely zero evidence. Now, to Sam Pepper's credit, as we mentioned previously, a lot of his TikToks were genuine, authentic, creative ideas, especially in the beginning. However, with videos such as this clearly fake one gaining over 18 million views,
Sam is scum. Yeah, dude sucks.
Open this.
Hey, let's do that.
it's really no surprise that he began to make his videos faker and faker.
I know this is really crazy, but if I play you rock, paper, scissors and I win, can I like rip this down the street? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh my god, get fucked, idiot.
I'm gonna get in the passenger, I'm scared.
Get fucked, dummy.
Alright.
People who think this is real. The countless fake viral videos receiving massive view counts and minimal backlash likely gave Sam Pepper the idea that he could literally just say whatever, regardless of how unbelievable it happened to be, leading to his completely fictitious claim about winning the lottery. When you Google Sam Pepper wins lottery or Sam Pepper lottery, the only results that come up are his TikTok video, the same video posted to his Instagram, and an old forum post titled as follows.
That's just
Scam
TikTok?
Pepper
Yeah,
living a
man.
life of luxury
TikTok
after
is
scamming his
just-
followers for millions, then fleeing
That's
the
a
US.
wild
He's claiming to have
wasteland.
won the lottery while shopping for islands and a new fan base to scam. This refers to the whole Save the Kids scandal that was exposed by Coffeezilla back in July 2021. In the final episode of his series, Coffeezilla discovered that Sam Pepper was potentially at the heart of the entire scam and had fled the USA to move back to the United Kingdom.
It looks like Sam Pepper is fleeing the United States to escape legal accountability for what happened. But I asked him about this, and he, of course, denies this categorically.
Therefore, this post stating Scam Pepper living a life of luxury after scamming his followers for millions assumes that he does actually have the money, only that he's covering it up
Oh,
by
that's
saying that
sad
he
to
won
hear,
the
the
lottery
nerdy.
as opposed to the truth, being that he might have received it from the Save the Kids crypto scam. Although, in order to be buying an $8.9 million island in Thailand, you're probably going to need around 50 to 100 million in order for it to be a comfortable purchase, and while Sam Pepper has had a fairly successful social media career, I doubt he has access to that kind of money.
I
Obviously,
can
the
assure
easiest
you
way to
he
put all of
doesn't.
this to rest would be for Sam Pepper
He's
to
a
simply
serial
provide some
scammer
kind of evidence
who is
for either winning
also
the lottery or the
historically
purchase of the
awful
island.
with money.
However, with a track record like Sam's filled with
No
fake
chance.
video after fake video, it seems pretty obvious that like the rest of his entire career, this is nothing more than yet another
So is this what he
hoax.
does now, like full time? He just full time pretends to be a lottery winner on TikTok? I mean, I guess it's better than the alternative of scamming everyone. Now he's just lying again. Let's see. Yep. Wow. What an interesting loser. Yeah, that man's like an OG punching bag for the internet. Hey, thanks for the 10 gift subs, Cobalt. Appreciate it, man. Killing best friend prank is a timeless classic. It really is. Literally Dan Bilzerian. There's a huge difference between Sam Pepper and Dan Bilzerian. Dan Bilzerian was a massively rich kid from birth because of his dad. Sam Pepper pretends to be a massively rich guy from scamming. They're both, like, genuine, full-blown liars living a fake life. But at the very least, Dan does have a lot of money to back it up because of his family. Sam has nothing besides lying on TikTok and scamming 16-year-olds on Twitter out of crypto.
Amy Schumer places first on literally every single list titled Worst or Most Hated Comedians of All Time.
Now, I do want to say, one addendum to this. I would no longer put Amy Schumer as the #1 worst comedian of all time. I would give that to Brendan Schaub now. I think I would comfortably put Brendan Schaub as the worst comedian of all time. I finally got around to watching his new special, Gringo Pappy. It's worse than anything that Amy Schumer's put out. And that's not something I say not something I say lightly. That was a really hard one to sit through. So I'd put her comfortably number 2, Brendan Schaub number 1.
Why? Well, the countless different reasons for it become most interesting when you realize that toward the beginning of her career, she was actually liked and respected amongst the general population. For example, she was listed in Time's top 100 most influential people of 2015, whilst her comedy specials such as this one, and this one received mostly positive reviews, one of which confidently stating that Amy Schumer leaves her audience in stitches.
Aww.
However, while this review was mostly positive, if we go back a couple of sentences, it also points out the first reason as to why Amy Schumer would eventually become so hated. It's easy to label Amy Schumer a one-trick pony. As the title of her special suggests, she talks about sex and she doesn't talk about much else. Her idea of comedy is making jokes about how terrible her vagina smells and or how many guys she's blown. That's not comedy. This was a comment on a thread discussing why her style was so controversial, the thread including another supporting comment which stated, you can call her a one-trick pony or two-trick, which are 1, here is my vagina, want a detailed description, you will have it anyway. 2, men are pathetic, and I like to assault / manipulate / emasculate them in every way. With these two comments in mind, it becomes obvious that not only does Amy Schumer have a little diversity in terms of what topics she jokes about, but her narrow style of joking about her own female anatomy in an unflattering way, whilst constantly joking about men in a derogatory way, is simply going to make her unappealing to a male audience, as well as specific females such as this one who had commented, you can only have so much self-deprecating humor before people get tired of it. How much do I need to hear about her pussy? Certainly not the entire length of her stand-up show, that's for damn sure.
That's a little disingenuous. Her most recent special only had, I think, 2 sections for vaginal related topics. And then the other section, I think, was diarrhea. She was talking about food poisoning. I don't remember much else, but she did it while she was pregnant. Like that special, I think it was while she was pregnant.
Such as the discussion of female promiscuity, also leaves Amy Schumer open to political backlash and debate. This is the next thing that began to turn the audience against her back in 2016, politics. One article written by CBS News stated, around 200 people walked out of her Tampa show when Schumer launched into a withering takedown of Donald Trump. It's somewhat of a surprise that fans were caught off guard, because Schumer isn't known for suppressing her political views. In addition to this,
her
Amy
dad
Schumer
is
would announce that she was
a
pregnant,
very powerful
posting
senator.
the list of the
That's
people
how she got her
voted
start.
for, adding at the bottom, I'm pregnant Amy Schumer, using her pregnancy to drive traffic to the candidates which she considered to be favorable. Whenever Amy spoke politically, she always took a liberal viewpoint and was very anti-Republican, even having interviewed Hillary Clinton, yet her audience would come to discover that back in 2007, Amy Schumer actually got her first big break as a guest on Fox News, which was a pro-Republican news station, angering both sides of the political spectrum. Amy going public with her political opinions meant that she had now alienated another 50% of the already small audience that might still be interested in her style of comedy. Additionally, whenever Amy Schumer was criticized for the comedy itself, she'd use politics as an easy way out by simply blaming the criticism on the alt-right, as highlighted in another comment which stated,
I remember
most
that
of all,
one.
when her audience gives her honest feedback, she whines about how her critics must hate women or how they're all alt-right. Yeah,
She made a giant post, or someone on her team made a giant post on Instagram, I think it was, when her second to last stand-up special absolutely bombed. I actually think that's the reason Netflix got rid of the star ratings, is because of her special, because it was nothing but overwhelmingly 1 stars. And she made a giant post about how it's like men just hate women these days, and it's all the alt-right that are taking down Schumer and this and that. So she is very, very much delusional on why people don't like her. PewDiePie's even mentioned in this article here, I just noticed. PewDiePie did a good roast, check it out. Cool. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Zephyr. Appreciate the generosity. And the resub, Shedder, Zealot, South Park, Pain, Resolution, and Tier 1 Gator. And the resub, Jarvis.
Sure, Amy, the only reason people hate you is that they're all a bunch of Nazi anti-Semitic misogynists. This comment also highlighted the next reason as to why Amy Schumer became so hated, and that's her lack of personal responsibility and victim complex, which is
she
sometimes
can't take
even mixed
criticism.
with a hint of entitlement and the contrary attitude that she's better than everyone else. For example, in late 2015, an article was published by Page 6 titled, Amy Schumer thinks she's too famous to check in at the gym, which read, Amy Schumer was not happy this week when staffers at the Upper West Side Equinox asked her to present her membership card, which is standard practice practice at the upscale fitness club. She felt entitled to just walk in, a source explained to Page 6. She didn't want to show her key fob and wanted to be able to go in and not be questioned. We're told the annoyed trainwreck star declared, "I'm famous," when employees didn't recognize her and insisted she go through the typical check-in procedure. While Equinox believes Schumer eventually enjoyed her workout on Monday afternoon, our source said she was so unhappy she stormed off. A different article sporting similar energy was titled, "Amy Schumer can't be bothered to take photos with fans," which stated, "Amy Schumer wants to make it clear she does not owe you a selfie."
I'm just gonna tell you right now that doesn't bother me. No one's entitled to give you something. Like you're not entitled to a photo with her. I don't know why you'd want one unless it's just as like a joke with your friends, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that perspective. I think that's totally fine.
The article went on to describe an exchange that Amy Schumer had whilst in town for a comedy show. "This guy in front of his family just ran up next to me and scared the shit out of me. Put a camera in my face. I asked him to stop and he said, 'No, it's America and we paid for you.' This was in front of his daughter."
Okay, this is a r/never happened moment. What? No, it's America and we paid for you. That absolutely never happened in the history of this fucking planet. Oh my god.
I was saying stop and no. Great message to your kid. Yes, legally you're allowed to take a picture of me, but I was asking you to stop and say no. I will not take pictures with people anymore, and it's because of this dude in Greenville. Yet, after the other person involved was then interviewed by a local news station, a whole different side to the story was revealed.
But he tells us
probably
that's
the
not
truth.
exactly how it went according to him.
I see her face and I'm like, all right, cool. So I hurry up and get on my Instagram and I'm like, here goes Amy, and then she just loses it and she just gets mad, and that is totally false what she wrote about me.
So if Amy Schumer was too famous to check into her local gym or take photos with fans, she must have thought pretty highly of herself.
So there's I don't think there's any heroes in this situation. Like even in his own video here, he's clearly already recording while she's just out in public. That's some douchey shit. Like you're in the wrong here. And then Amy, for some reason, still manages to take an L by making a completely made-up story about how this guy said he paid for her and that she owes him a picture, which clearly doesn't even seem to happen here. They don't even interact. Amy still can't even accidentally take a W in anything. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. Hey, Dom. Thank you for the 5 gift subs, man. And the gift sub, Eris, and the resub, Nady, Sky, and the Prime Creates.
Was too famous to check into her local gym or take photos with fans, she must have thought pretty highly of herself. If that's truly the case, then surely she'd be happy with an $11 million offer from Netflix for one of her comedy specials a year later in 2017.
Yeah, baby, that's the big one.
Right? Well, no, not really. Amy Schumer claimed that the $11 million offer wasn't enough money for 60 minutes of comedy footage, citing it as unfair due to Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle receiving $20 million for their specials. Now, this argument would be perfectly fine assuming all 3 comedy specials were of similar quality, only they most certainly weren't. Amy's comedy special, the one that she was paid $11 million for, was so bad that IMDb users gave it a rating of 3.1 out of 10, whilst Netflix had to check.
That, by the way, that was after some astroturfing, if I remember correctly. They tried really hard to keep this number somewhat respectable, even during the flood of like intense criticism. It's a bad special. I watched this the day it aired. This shit is absolutely atrocious. It is not a 3 out of 10. It is definitely less. And I do vaguely recall there being evidence of them gaming it to try and like pump it slightly by just dumping a bunch of 10s.
10, whilst Netflix had.
Or actually, no. What was it? Did she, I can't remember exactly, but didn't she make a post on Instagram like, if you watch my special, make sure to go leave a 10 on IMDb or something? What was it? It was something like that. I might be getting my wires crossed here, but it was something in that similar vein, and I'm blanking on what exactly it was. I don't know, I'll probably look it up in a minute. Or maybe Sonny will talk about it.
Had to change their rating system entirely, which hit its 1.35 out of 5-star performance on
that
their
was
platform.
Schwab. Oh, that was Schwab. He gave you the CBD discount. I am getting my wires crossed then? Okay.
The changes to the industry she's made is incredible. Like how Netflix had to remove their rating system because her special was so terrible.
The goods and the bads of this comedy special. We'll go ahead and start about
I watched
what's
it.
good with it. that ends that segment. That about covers that.
Dave Chappelle's Netflix special
That's still
on the
such
other
a good
hand
joke.
received a rating of 8.2
Banger.
on IMDb, whilst Chris Rock's received a less impressive but still superior rating of 6.6 out of 10. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock were ranked as number 9 and number 5 on Rolling Stone's top 50 comedians of all time, whilst the only list Amy Schumer seems to top is IMDb's top 10 worst comedians of all time. When Dave Chappelle went on Comedy Central all the way back in 2004, he'd receive a viewership of 3.1 million people, yet when Amy Schumer went on Comedy Central at the height of her popularity in 2016, her viewership was less than 500,000. I'm truly cackling at the audacity of Amy Schumer thinking she deserved the same pay as Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. Like, girl, what? So Amy Schumer wants Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle money, but haven't put in the years they put in. Talk about privilege and opportunity, shaking my head. Amy Schumer is maybe Josh Gad level. She's not as famous or endearing as Chris Rock. She's not a legend like Dave Chappelle. In case Amy Schumer complaining about being paid $11 million wasn't already dumb enough, it became even worse when her audience would discover that some of the jokes within her special might have been stolen from other comedians. Compilations began to pop up on YouTube, such as these two, giving example after example of the ways in which Amy Schumer had stolen jokes from other comedians in the past.
How's this?
Oh, that's perfect.
They can ring you up right over there.
Thanks so much.
Sure. Okay, I'm Ben.
She had a favorite president, it would probably...
I got a hot take for you real quick. I've never really liked Mad TV. I already see people in the chat saying Mad TV GOAT and Mad TV was the best. I never liked Mad TV. I've just never enjoyed skit shows. The only one I've ever liked, well, two, the Chappelle Show and Whitest Kids You Know. Every other skit show just wasn't for me, man. It just wasn't for me. It's never been my cup of tea.
Lincoln.
Are there any other distinguishing features? I would guess he probably voted for Obama. I know I did.
As these compilations began to pick up steam on YouTube, news article after news article was published calling Amy Schumer a joke thief, whilst others within the comedy space would come forward stating that Amy Schumer stealing jokes was discussed regularly behind the scenes. Twitter took the exact same standpoint in posts such as, "Is it just me or is Amy Schumer just not that funny?" Despite the fact that she has a terrible personality and steals
This was
half-baked
2016,
jokes,
that was like the
prompting Amy
most
to address
commonly
the criticism
accepted take.
in an Instagram post where she'd once again alleviate any personal responsibility by blaming the backlash on Reddit. Dear sweet misunderstood geniuses in the bowels of subreddit chat rooms. I've never stolen a joke in my life. Also going on the Jim Norton advice show before stating the following.
And I'm so careful. And none of these things had ever reached me. And I will literally take a polygraph.
Was certainly a point of debate, yet one joke which Amy Schumer...
If you have to do a polygraph to confirm whether or not you've stolen jokes, I think you've already lost. Polygraphs aren't like the most reliable piece of technology in the world or anything, but if you have to go to such extreme lengths to try and prove your innocence on joke stealing, I think it's already just a lost cause. There's just no reason. Like, you're already fucked. Why even go through the theatrics? He's the prime, Georgie.
Definitely had.
And also, that last question, taking no inspiration for a joke or a special or whatever, that's bullshit. Everyone's taking inspiration from jokes and everything. That's literally how a lot of comedy gets made. Everything is inspired by something to some level. Like, that's a stupid question, and her saying no is even dumber.
hadn't stolen was a joke made in front of Steve-O back in 2014.
I
relating
referenced
to the
this.
death of his friend
Yes.
Brian Dunn.
There you go,
He's not,
Amy.
it's for real. Imagine being such a buzzkill that you kill Steve-O's vibe. Amy Schumer doesn't understand the concept of dark humor. She's got the dark, now she just needs to find the humor. What made this even worse was that her audience would eventually use this little zinger as an example that Amy Schumer was able to dish out harsh jokes, but was unable to take them herself. What we're referring to is a tweet made in early 2016 by a 17-year-old movie critic who had posted a photo of himself with Amy Schumer, titled with a light-hearted comedic caption reading, "Spent the night with @Amy Schumer." Certainly not the first guy to write that, referring to Amy often talking about the different guys she's been with during her shows.
Hey, nice one,
So
Jackson.
if Amy thought it was appropriate to joke about Steve-O's recently deceased friend, surely she shouldn't have a problem
Such a
with someone
low-hanging
making
fruit, I can't help but
comments
respect
about
it.
the amount of guys she's been with, especially considering it's basically all she talks about within her shows. Well, Amy didn't take it all that lightly, replying to the 17-year-old fan by stating, "I get it, cause I'm a whore. Glad I took a photo with you, hi to your dad." Others on Twitter would respond to what you might call Amy's inconsistent joke
Well,
morals by stating, "That's the same type of joke Amy Schumer uses to keep her fame. Suddenly that humor is off limits now, huh? LOL." Others would support Amy Schumer in tweets stating, "Thank you @Amy Schumer for holding him accountable and not just blowing it off." Yet the
Hey, good work,
discourse
Eric.
and contrast between these two different viewpoints really conclude how Amy Schumer became so hated. She used controversy and difference of opinion to grow her career, whilst angering the entire world in the process.
Man, Sunny only captured like base level Amy. A great video on Amy, but man, she's done so much more to make people hate her. Who remembers Amy Schumer getting asking Kanye to trample her or whatever? Oh God.
You
I
can
haven't
add this to the list of reasons.
No, just show. I don't need to see the news breakdown. I just want to see the clip. Oh, here it is.
Right down here, please. Guys, right here, please. Down here, please. Down here. Kim, can we get a fashion shot real quick? Right down here, please.
Wait, what? They didn't even show it. Where? I guess
You
maybe
can
we
add
have to do
this to
this
the
one.
list of reasons why we love Amy Schumer. She just pranked Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
What an awful start. What a tragic start to this video.
Today's episode of Clever Newsfeed is brought to you by the new movie The Age of Adeline. In magazine's 100 Most and hit the red carpet, she fell down right in front of them as they were posing for photos. Now this was obviously done in good fun, but it looks like Kimye was not having it. I mean, they didn't even reach down to see if she was okay. Now Amy
so they're
is
still not even gonna
BFF
play the
with
clip?
Kanye's ex, Amber Rose, so maybe that's why Kanye didn't get the joke. Or actually,
Man, what a fucking shame. It was a good prank, though. Exit Prime Miles in the resub Purple, Toxic, and Bin in the Bits Dowland. What a prank. I know. She's the master. Full of goofs and gaffs. I don't think Kanye really enjoys much, to be honest. Well, I don't think anyone on planet Earth would enjoy this. Like, what do you even do? Oh, so Amy Schumer laid down in front of me. I mean, I guess I'll just use her as a floor mat and wipe my boots on her. Like, how do you respond? Like, you just walk by. Like, there's nothing to do. Like, there's just absolutely nothing to do there. It's just stupid. Help her up? Oh, what do you mean help her up? She's the video's not doing it justice. In the full clip, she was like doing an interview or something, and then she like scurries away to go pull off this grand prank, but she just like slowly gets down on her knees and lays out. It's not like she falls. Read Kanye's response. Did Kanye ever even mention it? Kanye West wanted Amy Schumer to die. Let's ride.
Hey guys, it's Sienna Gomez, and I'm gonna be telling you what goes on behind my most viral TikToks.
Allegation. This situation is absolutely insane, with accusations flying from both sides.
I wanted to share what I went through.
All I can
Tier
say
1 General
is that
Shark.
I was in love with him.
These are the facts, and I'm a witness.
And why is all of your evidence posted and quickly deleted? His friends are painting him as the victim, and he is the victim, but not of me.
Ooh, a bombshell. Damn, the editing here is super intense. I feel like I'm about to watch an episode of Euphoria.
I'm young, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time.
Who doesn't love a good YouTube apology?
I love YouTube apologies.
I'm so sorry for anyone that's been hurt.
Continuous lapse in my judgment.
I'm not the first to say influencer apologies have become their own genre over the past couple years. I mean, how many multi-millionaires have we seen cry on camera at this point? It's hard to overlook the irony of David
Was that an
Dobrik
Ellen
turning off
apology video?
comments.
Wait, what? When did Ellen make an apology video?
Multi-millionaires have we seen cry on camera.
What was she crying for? When was this? This isn't real? Oh. God damn it.
At this point, it's hard to overlook the irony of David Dobrik turning off comments on a video titled Let's Talk. While some apologies may lead to an accidental admission of guilt, others don't even contain the word sorry at all. Some are scripted, while others are very much not.
You're high. You're snorting a line of off a bad my. You know what I mean?
I never saw his apology video. I didn't know he had one.
Online, you get used to a pretty wide range of public statements, varying from sincere and tactful to, oh my god, what are the words coming out of your mouth right now?
Actually, that just reminded me. Jenna Marbles,
hey guys,
she made an apology video and then quit YouTube, or said she was. Did she actually do that? It's been like 2 years now. I guess so. Damn, she said, alright, I'm out then. What a play. The Ellen apology is real? Hey, let me see. Which one? Is it this one? Issues new apology to staff as producers are fired. Oh, yeah, she also just quit her show, right? So that's pretty fucking awesome, I guess.
I stay grateful and I try to stay humble, and I think that I pay attention to what is important and what is real.
In recent months, her character has been called into question.
Yeah, none of us like Ellen, I get it. Where's her apology?
Reasons. We'll focus on level producer.
Ninja made you, Ellen. Don't forget it.
She said Sienna herself is that the brand is different, told Fox, and steps up and things better. It's crew Wi-Fi were noobable, but the difference of person makes this wave environment.
Where is it?
We'll see what happens with Ellen's show, but something tells us this storm isn't even close to being over for them. And there you have it, a look at the response from the Ellen producers about the accusations and how they've been accused of various wrongdoings on the show. What do you think about what appears to be going on behind the scenes?
Man, I just got lied to. Man, I just got played. It's the first video result. It's this one.
Oh boy, welcome to season 18 of the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Many people who help make this show what it is. 270 people who I am so grateful for. I want to be the 1 hour a day that people can go to escape and laugh.
Okay. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Is it this one?
Now with Ellen DeGeneres with another emotional apology to her staff in a video conference call after allegations of her show being a toxic work environment made headlines. This as 3 top producers, all accused of sexual misconduct, are ousted from the show. Kaylee Hartung has the details. Good morning, Kaylee.
Well, looks like I'll never find that. I'm just assuming it's not real.
I gotta keep moving forward and learning and growing. You know, some people don't teach you about how to live this lifestyle or how to be here in this position, but I'm learning and I'm growing.
It doesn't exactly take a PhD in psychological studies to gauge who's actually sorry and who's only sorry they got caught, as some only see their situation as more of a costly inconvenience than an opportunity to reflect inwards and admit where they might have room to grow. But that also depends on how serious their crimes are. Someone accused of a literal crime probably won't have the best of luck defending themselves holding a tangible actual script in front of them.
To be fair, it's less of a script and more of like a summer reading essay. that one of his friends probably wrote for him.
On camera. I guess nothing should surprise me anymore. Not even the worst interpretive dance I've ever seen. As a response to one of the biggest TikTok controversies in recent
This is how you do apologies.
Join me in documenting the timeline of disastrous PR choices of one of TikTok's once most promising entertainers. This is the story of Sienna.
I know that this is why God and the universe have given me this platform. I preach self-love, but that takes time and patience. Now, more than ever, I feel proud of the person that I am.
The one thing you should never apologize for is securing your internet with Surfshark VPN.
Clean segue.
I tried making that smooth, I don't know. Surfshark VPN keeps your identity safe and secure
Do the dance
by
again?
encrypting
I don't
all
remember the
information
dance. I just remember this
exchanged
part.
between your device and the internet, ensuring your personal data
That was
stays
part of her
protected
apology,
from
and
the
it was
threat
fucking
of big
epic.
companies and cyber criminals. In case you've been living under a rock for 7 years, virtual private networks swap the real location of your device with a new one of your choosing, giving you the ability to virtually travel anywhere across the globe. Which is all just a long way of saying you get more shows on Netflix. Access and unblock content libraries and streaming services from other countries, all with the help of Surfshark's 3,200 servers located in over 65
You still watching One Piece? No, I haven't watched One Piece in a
censorship
while.
and liberate your
Been doing
internet
Better
by
Call Saul
unblocking
recently.
countless geo-restricted websites and secure your online data in the process. Protect your identity today when you click the link down below and enter code JOBBERY to get a whole 83% off your subscription, along with 3 extra months free. An incredible deal you don't want to miss. Massive thanks again to the gracious folks over at Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video.
I got it, Mac. I don't know if I want to know.
yeah.
Thanks for your subsetting.
Yeah, I am the new face of Maybelline.
You're huge. That's fine. You can come. That's not cocky. It's a fact. The new face of Maybelline. That's no joke.
Sienna May Gomez is an 18-year-old influencer with over 20 million followers spanning across her YouTube channel, Instagram, and TikTok, where she once ranked among the top 100 biggest creators on the app. In just under 8 months, Sienna built one of the
this
largest
background music
followings
is
on TikTok,
slapping.
signed with a Hollywood talent agency, secured brand deals with a myriad of major companies, and was even set to star in a Netflix documentary focused on her friend group until a flood
Yeah, and you wonder why
serious
Netflix is doing shitty,
from
huh?
fellow TikTok star and her once best friend. Born on January 16th, 2004 in Laguna Niguel, California, Sienna was raised by 2 parents who now each have followings of their own. Sienna hasn't been shy to include all of her family members in online activities, always making an effort to shine a light on her personal life in front of millions of dedicated followers. This openness is exactly what made Sienna famous to begin with. Her first viral video emphasizing body positivity, a theme Sienna would routinely showcase after blowing up in August of 2020, her videos surrounding conversations on unrealistic beauty standards for women being endorsed by Lizzo, and propelling herself into the 7-figure follower range in no more than just a few weeks. I gained 1 million views like every 3 days. It was just going so fast. From the span of August to maybe October, December, I was gaining 1 million followers every week to 2 weeks, landing a place alongside Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae at the Hype House not too long after. At just 16 years old, Sienna had embedded herself in the fast-paced, highly glamorized celebrity culture many girls her age could only dream of, and it all happened really overnight. Posting close to 4 times a day on her 2 TikTok accounts and interacting with fans regularly in an attempt to grow her empire far beyond the limits of TikTok. It wasn't long before she began posting content with another influencer extremely instrumental to this story by the name of Jack Wright. Born on March 29th, 2003, he and his twin James grew up with Sienna, going to high school together and hanging out in the same friend group long before TikTok fame ever came about. In fact, it seems
One
Sienna
sub
was
on
actually
YouTube is worth like
James,
1,000
up
followers
until
on
Jack
TikTok.
accompanied her to an interview.
It's still extremely impressive on TikTok, man.
After getting along so well and becoming more close, the two began appearing side by side more frequently on TikTok. And as you can imagine, it didn't take long for young fans of the two to speculate on the true nature of their relationship.
3 things I love about Josh: his smile, his optimism, and his way of being kind to me, no matter if I mean to him or not.
How was your first kiss? How sweet.
Our first kiss? But we haven't had it yet.
You haven't had it yet?
You haven't had first kiss yet?
The
No.
vlog says something
Never.
else.
What weird questions to ask. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Ugh.
Not unlike YouTube and Twitch, TikTok...
How is the paparazzi like a real profession that still exists in the current century? Jesus Christ. That shit is so weird. So genuinely weird. And it's so outdated now, too, considering, like, all of these social media people and celebrities posted, like, all of their shit themselves. Like, their most embarrassing moments are moments that they are capturing and posting themselves. So the paparazzi are getting paid for actual nothingness, just to take pictures of them holding coffee cups. Such a stupid and worthless job. Thanks for you some thick in the prime dat. The bits ghosts.
Fosters a climate of celebrity idolization, where fans are constantly fixating on the personal lives of their favorite influencers. Take someone like Charli D'Amelio and Lil Huddy, for example. Their relationship has always been made a focal point by those that follow them and the media alike, which is hardly a new concept. Publicizing the personal details of your life will naturally lead to more scrutiny by those who have nothing better to do, i.e. people like me. So it's important to be mindful when deciding what to blast online, as you can only expect it to be picked apart and analyzed by anyone on the outside looking in. All we can do is work with whatever you choose to publicize, which ties into Sienna's relationship with Jack. Fans would get used to seeing the two vlogging, dancing together, overall just being friendly. I hate talking about this, but it's important groundwork for the rest of the story. Basically, for months, fans were led to believe these two were a couple, despite neither of them ever confirming nor denying their audience's suspicions.
Are you guys dating?
They would very openly show PDA, but never outright clarified whether they were dating, reaping the benefits of a public #couples goals relationship without that relationship actually needing to exist, as it was later revealed to be a clever front. It got to where so many people believed they were together, it became a huge part of their brand. But that also led to a lot of skepticism, as Sienna's relationship with her fans has always felt a little bit strained and inauthentic, at least going by the first taste of controversy she experienced in February 2021.
I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time. I care deeply about inclusivity and I strive to lead by example. That means listening.
Boo, bad apology, didn't even dance.
15 million followers when she decided to launch her own merch by the name of Confidence is Cute, a body-positive clothing line offering an assortment of tees, sweatpants, hoodies, and beanies with phrases like, everybody is beautiful, stop looking at my rolls, graphic design is my passion. I'm sorry, I'll be nice. Definitely a good message, just not the best design in my opinion. Though they were pretty well received by her audience, up until a new selection dropped, sporting the caption, "Did you eat today?" which was mocked across Twitter and TikTok for making light of those with eating disorders and food sensitivities. It didn't take long for Sienna to respond on Instagram, where she doubled down on the design, writing it was not meant to make fun of / glorify EDs / be harmful or ironic in any way. The question is hoping to encourage / check in with people if they actually ate. Not liking this design is different than misrepresenting the meaning behind it, as she continued. Of course, since no retraction of the merch had been made, people weren't having it. And as the situation began being picked up by the appropriate news and drama outlets, Sienna finally removed the product and issued a public apology.
With that said, I have heard you and I have removed the merch. I will still be donating all of the proceeds of this line to Teen Line, which is a place that many teens can reach out for help. I care about you and thank you for speaking up. Be nice to someone today. We're all struggling with something.
Now, I'm not here to question Sienna's true intentions behind an ill-advised merch drop from a year ago. I don't think it would have been beneficial to Sienna's bottom line to ironically poke fun at eating disorders after building a platform on body positivity and acceptance. To me, what stands out the most in light of her recent allegations is the way in which she responded to the backlash. After a failed attempt to double down in the face of her critics, Sienna capitulated with a strongly scripted apology, possibly written by a teen theme with a heavy emphasis on her age and inexperience. Like, come on, you did not write that. Sienna attributes this mistake to her youngness, which might be fair in this one instance, though I think you'll see a little later this defense can only go so far. Unfortunately, there are some parallels between this response and her various responses to Jack Wright, which we will get into in a little bit. To me, it just screams inauthentic, but it doesn't really matter what I or any of us think anymore because this happened last year, hardly making an impact on her following whatsoever. A few T channels covered it, but ultimately everyone moved on soon afterwards. So with this PR win, I have to assume Sienna must have felt a new air of confidence. After all, it was around this time that Netflix was filming for a Hype House documentary. Chaos surrounding the biggest teen stars.
I'm curious. How many TikToker shows does Netflix have? Let me see. I'm curious. Let's see. They have to have like 5 or 6, right? So the Hype House documentary. They have the Hype House competition show on Netflix. Or I guess it's not the Hype House per se, but something like it. Okay, can someone just tell me? I don't even know what I'd search for. Thanks to the resub. Fairgo. They definitely have like 3 or 4, right? There's only like 2? No, that can't be right. They had the Addison Rae one, they had the Hype House one, they had that competition one where a bunch of TikTokers got into a house to fight for like Big Brother style. They had they had another documentary on somebody and I'm blanking on their name. Was it D'Amelio Family Show on Netflix? Addison's was Snapchat. Oh, was it Snapchat? Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe it was Snapchat. You're talking about He's All That, but it wasn't a doc. Okay, let me rephrase the question. How many shows on Netflix star TikTokers? There. That's more appropriate then. Because it's definitely a lot. I've seen it a lot. I think they've been doing like a big investment in TikToker-focused media for the built-in audience. The D'Amelio Family's on Hulu. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe it's all over the place. Thanks, resub shakes. Huh. Alright. Maybe you guys are right. I thought it was more on Netflix, but yeah, it might just be everywhere.
In the world as they try to navigate the Hollywood scene and drink bang energy. Though unfortunately, Sienna wouldn't be joining Charlie and Vinny Hacker on Netflix anytime soon. Neither would her acquaintance Jack Wright, thanks to a series of reputation-defining allegations that changed the trajectory of her career starting in May of 2021.
A post from a friend of Jack Wright actually came out about Sienna May, and it involved a large amount of serious allegations.
On the 31st, Mason Rizzo, a friend of Jack's since kindergarten, published the following statement to Twitter, reading, "I struggle with seeing a girl praised after telling my best friend to kill himself and assaulting him numerous times after he set boundaries and then repeatedly wonder why he doesn't like you back. She also has a history of verbally abusing people.
She's young. Come on.
She prioritizes the growth of her platform rather than the positive message she represents herself as. Followers should not be an excuse to get away with abusive behavior. You guys all deserve to know the truth about her." Now, this may not have gotten so much attention so fast had it not been retweeted by Jack's twin brother, adding, "This is why I couldn't just let it go and stay out of it," before retweeting another girl alleging Sienna was also known to body shame, despite the positive, uplifting stance she had taken online. This was obviously incredibly noteworthy for anyone on the outside, as these claims were being backed up by Jack's own brother, who belonged to the same social circle as Sienna for the past several years.
This is so inconsequential to anything.
A fire
Bro, she sexually assaulted a guy,
of which Sienna fanned the flames with her own.
But apparently a lot of other shit. What are you talking about?
Immediately after they
How's
were
that inconsequential?
taking to Instagram by writing, "Friends fight and relationships sometimes change, but allegations of a criminal act are not to be thrown around loosely. Making an untrue sexual assault claim is never okay. I'm beyond saddened by this situation. In order for us all to move forward, I will be taking this offline with Jack. Thank you to all who have reached out with love and concern. As you can imagine, this wasn't received as well as she may have hoped and was deleted soon after. In fact, you won't find any of these posts now if they've all been taken down. Mason clarifying that Sienna and Jack's families had come to the agreement that this would be settled offline and away from social media. Except we both know how the internet works. This was out in the open for good. By early June, Sienna had made what would become her first of many public responses on camera, in which she unequivocally denied any and all allegations.
Yeah, these apologies sucked. Her video dancing was much better.
Or denied it,
her dancing
which
apology.
Makes the situation even worse because he never denied it, knowing that it's not true. The allegations were made in a tweet by Mason of sexual assault. Let me be clear one more time. I did not sexually assault Jack Wright.
Sienna goes on to say that the two never had sex, which was never a part of the allegations, but I digress, and even claims those in her life are using her best qualities, i.e. the way she loves people, against her, to make her out to be something she is not.
It's so crazy to me how once a relationship or a friendship has ended, people will turn your very best qualities against you, which I know my very best qualities are the way I love. And that love and that passion is newly regarded as overwhelming, that passion is now newly regarded as possessive or desperate. That is so frustrating to me, and after everything that I did for him and after all the love that I gave him, I feel so stupid. That's the only way I can explain it. I just feel stupid.
It's important to note that most of what she says here is completely unrelated from what Mason had alleged in his initial statement. Instead, using this opportunity as a way to clarify their relationship off camera, and even paint Jack to be a manipulator, as she claims.
It was real online, and then it was sometimes real offline, and sometimes it wasn't, which was so misleading, and honestly just such a mental mind for me.
During the latter half of the video, Sienna makes the shockingly bold assertion that although she did not abuse Jack, someone else did.
I'm so disappointed in you and the people around you because they are letting you misplace your trauma onto me, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. It's not my place to speak your story, and I will not discuss this any further, but it's not your place to allow false allegations to be spread about me when we both know that I was not the one who did this to you. I was there for you through the aftermath and all those depressive nights.
Spoiler alert, there was a video of it.
Motivation, and I would go and I would clean
unless it was deep faked.
And I would be there for you as a good friend because I cared about you so much. I'm so sorry that this happened to you, and I really hope you can get through this.
Doesn't name any names on account of it being not her story to tell, but still condemns Jack for allowing his friends to spread false allegations at her expense, before finally strikingly challenging Mason or anyone else to post the evidence of her abusing Jack, since she was so sure it didn't exist. And well, that's the part that really didn't age the best.
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing.
That's so bold. That's so fucking bold.
On June 3rd of 2021, this short video taken in November was posted by another friend of Jack's, seemingly depicting Sienna straddling an unconscious Jack Wright, groping him and kissing him on the lips while looking passed out. The guy next to him who posted the video got up after feeling uncomfortable, but went back to pull Sienna off once he realized what was happening, posting this alongside the clip in an effort to further support the claim that Jack was in fact asleep, or at the very least incapable of consent during that time. Being definitive proof of assault in the eyes of some, this video remains a heavy point of contention today. Sienna has since made the claim many times over that he was not unconscious and completely consenting as it happened.
It does seem like he was.
Another statement not long
after.
That's
usually what I look like
Jack
when I'm consenting.
Would go on to dispute.
The Hawaii incident happened where I was passed out unconscious almost like the whole night. She got on top of me, took advantage of me, groped me. I'm so glad they pulled her off of me, and honestly I'm glad that they have evidence.
After
Sienna found out about the video, she said sorry. She said if this got out, she would be done. That is horrible, and she's working
the Bill Cosby
Jack
classic.
Was a victim of sexual assault, but not by me. And I am a victim of continual.
I bet if they had an earlier video, there was putting
slander my name with false claims. It will not work. I'm here to clear things up and provide all sides of the story because I have been labeled as a sexual assaulter.
Right out of the gate, Sienna's demeanor is stronger and more aggressive than before. She comes off less concerned for her friend who she just previously said was sexually abused, and more frustrated with how the situation has affected her, reiterating a desire to take things offline.
I have tried multiple times to take this offline, and I am continually undermined by Jack and his inner circle. Jack has not spoken on the situation, and his friends keep dropping cryptic and non-specific information.
Using Jack's silence as a means to absolve her of the allegations made by his friends, and outright accusing those closest to Jack, including his own twin, of twisting the narrative against her, using air quotes when referencing the video in question.
The initial tweets, as well as the video that I am talking about right now, have been taken down.
She then goes on to dig up older clips of them being very touchy-feely with each other in the past, as if these would have anything to do with the allegations being made. Just because he may have consented in these examples on camera absolutely does not mean he was even in a sober enough state to consent in the video she's so willing to write off with air quotes.
As you can see here and anywhere online, Jack and I were very touchy-feely with our friendship. This is the way that we interacted with each other, and it is in any video you go watch of us. Please, and I encourage you to go watch my recent YouTube videos featuring Jack, our recent TikTok.
This is so uncomfortable,
you will
holy
see
shit.
that this behavior
Jesus Christ.
was normal. Online, we touched each other, kissed each other, we were playful. Jack kissed me and I kissed him. Within the boundaries of our relationship, this was normal.
Definitely not doing much to sway people in her favor. But let's look.
I would usually go over when he's unconscious and yank on his winky.
So I went back and took.
It was part of our friendship.
Not to mention, when I got closer, I noticed her right hand inappropriately touching his crotch. She was shocked that
I would play with his nutsack when he was having nightmares in order to ease his mind.
Next day about the situation that happened at night.
And then I'd spit on his face.
That happens all the time.
The way that Jack's friend narrated this video, I admit, looks so weird and looks just like real. But like my last video where I showed comments that were resurfacing and then provided a backstory, not everything is how you see on social media.
Sienna attempts to defend herself by first going after the video's presentation, claiming it was edited maliciously to make it seem more nefarious than what it really was.
The clip of me kissing Jack, he is also kissing me. I was looking at him face to face. He was kissing me back. Lachlan claims that he was unconscious. If he was unconscious, why did his arm move when you got up? And also, why was he kissing me back?
She asserts that he was fully awake and kissing her back, pointing to the way Jack's arm moves when his friend gets up from the couch. Now, maybe Sienna isn't sure how gravity works, but I think it's pretty clear to me, at least, which I have to say so I don't get sued, that his arm only moved because the guy stood up.
No, it's like Weekend at Bernie's.
He doesn't
fine.
move beyond that.
He's
yes,
fucking
it's a short
fine.
clip. There's not a whole lot to
He's
go
consenting.
on. Sienna is eager to point out for herself.
You claim in your video that you hear
He said yes,
noises.
so she could finger his butthole.
Noises, and I peeked over my shoulder, and it was exactly that.
We were kissing. Lachlan also claims that my hand is on Jack's crotch. While it is not, my hand is very visibly on Jack's thigh, upper thigh.
Okay, one, it is not very visible at all. I'm not showing the clip uncensored because it makes me uncomfortable, but her hand is behind her leg, so it's kind of hard to tell whether it's on his crotch or his thigh. But regardless, touching him while he's unconscious is still bad. And two, you can still make kissing noises even if the other person isn't actively kissing you back. It's clear Sienna doesn't have the strongest defense team of her rebuttal is, well, this.
If Jack was being sexually assaulted in this moment, James, why did you record it? James, you are Jack's twin brother, and I know that if my brother saw me being taken advantage of, he would pick up the person on top of me and beat them.
That's a
not
classic awful defense.
I mean, that would be a horrible look. They're trying to incriminate you, not themselves. To me, Jack's twin James took this video for his brother's own good. She then goes on to rapid fire a bunch of points that, again, really don't matter as far as what she's being accused of.
This was also in November when we had first just started to kind of ease our way into relationship, not relationship, defined, and you were introducing me as your girl. Having your friend take a 10-second clip out of context of this entire night is not sexual assault.
She's confused why it's even an issue at all, since James and Jack had never brought it up to her privately. This would not age the finest either. In the wake of Jack's formal
She's better than Amber Heard's lawyer, though.
YouTube channel about half a year later, where he argues he had brought this kind of behavior up with her multiple times.
First of all, if they were so uncomfortable, why didn't they say anything to me?
The next morning, where she was like, "I'm so sorry for doing that. That was I don't know what went through my head. I had to clarify again that I didn't like her that way. We were just friends. She said sorry, that was it. After that, these type of things kept happening.
This is also a TikTok that was made December 1st, not even 24 hours after the said sexual assault.
Good morning. I just wanted to say that.
Do you think Jack would have made this video with me if he felt uncomfortable from the night before?
The entire goal of this second statement is to make herself out to be the victim of Jack's friends intentionally manipulating the situation against her. But for what reason? As far as I'm concerned, no one really had anything to gain from this being public. These are the biggest influencers on TikTok,
Jesus Christ,
all with promising careers ahead. Making up false allegations to smear one of the most popular members in their group would not be doing themselves any favors unless this is real. Sienna issued cease and desist letters regardless. It went on to take a month-long break from social media. The situation died down once again, at least before Sienna made her long-awaited, critically acclaimed.
She comes back and posts this absolutely
Let's fucking go.
Video. An interpretive dance video for an essay.
It's so good. This is how you should
Take a whole
apologize.
month off social media, but now I'm back. Hit it with the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse dance.
Hey!
What is this?
Let's go.
Deaf and stupid do you have to be to dance to a song where the lyrics talk about kissing 100 guys when you have been accused of kissing your boyfriend when he was unconscious, which is assault?
I've tried writing this part of the video so many times, and
The
I
interpretive dance is so good.
Still am truly speechless.
I decided to take a month off of social media due to the negativity surrounding my platform. It was honestly one of the most difficult times in my life for many reasons. But through struggle, I found clarity within myself.
God, apology videos are always amazing, but this one I still think is one of the best.
I don't have anything to add. This
Fucking
is literally the
epic.
worst response to any controversy I have ever seen.
So good.
Somehow, Sienna May's PR team figured that
Exit
shooting
Prime,
a highly
Angstis.
stylized interpretive dance to a song which contains the lyrics, "I did nothing wrong, I'm young," would be an appropriate response to SA allegations. God,
And it
I'd love to
was.
be a fly on a wall during that meeting. It's like getting up in the middle of your trial and doing the Squidward dance. I mean, if you go to Google tone
God,
deaf
I
right
wish.
now, a link to her video pops up. For God's sake, she starts off with a close-up shot of her push to start.
Even if I can only inspire one person, I will have done what I was put on this earth to do.
It's so shallow and doesn't even mention the
These
reason
resub
she
space,
left social
the
media
Prime
in the
Nini,
first place.
and the resub
If she
Excalibur.
truly cared for Jack like she keeps claiming, this video would at the very
Resub
least
Bone.
mention him instead of only making it about her. Sienna lists
Silly TikTok dances,
and
showing unedited photos of
True
myself.
Massacre.
as ways she inspires
Very Sia-esque.
before launching into the worst dance moves a human being is capable of. Needless to say, this video convinced everyone she was...
Didn't Amber Turd just fire her whole PR team? Maybe there's a chance we see in trial her break out the interpretive dance like as a last-ditch Hail Mary. I don't want this to be the last one. It can't die here. I really think there's a lot of potential with the apology interpretive dances. So, fingers crossed. I really think we got a good chance there.
innocent. Netflix put her back on the show. She gained over 4 million followers overnight, and everyone clapped. The reception was just what you'd expect, which is why she deleted it almost immediately after it came out. Although I guess she forgot to take it down from Instagram. Regardless, it was still liked by over 200,000 people, and starting in July, Sienna went back to posting as normal, literally, like nothing happened. In fact, she even continued to grow in popularity during this time too, getting more brand deals, probably because she thanked them in the apology video.
And more than anything, I'm beyond thankful for my family, friends, partnerships, and supporters.
It's like she's banking on the support from the side of her audience who doesn't know about the allegations, or at least not the full extent of them. Either these people had never gotten the full picture, or didn't believe the allegations, clinging on to their favorite comfort creator and tuning out all the negativity. Because that's all it really was, right? An elaborate plot by Jack's friends to expose Sienna for something she didn't do, and sink her career out of frivolous spite. A warped reality Sienna peddled to her followers up until January 2022, when Jack Wright broke his silence.
I wanted to share what I went through with Sienna and my side of the story.
On the 20th of January this year, almost 8 months since the allegations first came out, Jack Wright released his own official video response addressing Sienna directly, in a statement titled, "What Sienna May Did to Me."
This all started when my friend came out with a tweet because he was worried about me. He actually witnessed a bunch of times what Sienna did to me.
Speaking on his experiences with Sienna, explaining how difficult it's been to open up, and that he didn't want his response video to be as aggressive as Sienna's. Jack also confirms here that they were always clearly just friends, and far from anything relationship-wise off camera.
I just want to clarify that we both knew that we were just friends. She was singing and talking.
They should dance battle? True.
And I
just
thought of her as a good friend. We were making videos, we were making dance trends, we had fun. It was just strictly friends, and we both knew that.
But this is where I want to give a quick trigger warning. To anyone who may be put off by brief mentions of abuse, Jack does go a bit further into detail here, and even makes some new allegations that hadn't been brought up by his friends. So feel free to skip to the timecode on screen if you aren't comfortable with such mentions.
So the first incident where Sienna crossed boundaries, it was after filming. We went into the room. I was just chilling on my phone on the bed, and she got naked, like completely naked, nothing on, and straddled me when I was literally just chilling on the bed. But I didn't know what to do in like the situation because it was just like random and weird. Quickly told her, Sienna, get off, we're just friends, stop. The next morning, where she was like, I'm so sorry for doing that. I don't know what went through my head. I had to clarify again that I didn't like her that way. We were just friends. She said sorry, that was it.
But that wasn't the end of it. Jack alludes to these incidents persisting, leading up to the video we all saw.
These type of things kept happening. She would do something and I would forgive her, and she said it wouldn't happen again, and we would go on and making fun videos. After all those type of things kept on happening, the Hawaii incident happened.
Jack can confirm that he was in fact passed out, unconscious, almost.
Oh, I can't believe that. That looks like a fully conscious man to me.
Most vulnerable state. He's appreciative of his friends for stepping in, and that they captured what little evidence there was. Because after that occurred, the two would get into another dispute at a party, where she got jealous and mad that he was flirting with girls, even though he made it clear he wanted nothing romantic with her. She allegedly pulled him into a room, screamed at him, then tried to make out with him before he told her to leave. Two friends escorted her out of the party since she had also been causing additional problems that night, but resorted to jumping and rolling out of a moving vehicle to get back.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He was hiding from Sienna in the house. According to him, her parents had to go.
That was like full-blown like Jason Statham stunts.
And while the car was moving, she jumped out of the car, rolled, and said, I have to get back to Jack. So I ran back to the house, and I was like hiding from her, and I was just waiting for her parents to finally pick her up. Looking back now, I don't know why I stayed friends with her, stayed around her. I truly thought she was gonna change for some reason. I feel like she'd say she had so much love for me and she truly cared for me, and then the next night she would do something like that.
It got to a point that Sienna was fully aware of Jack's boundaries, yet continued to cross them, ranting to friends that Jack didn't like her back, despite the fact that she turned around to pursue other guys. All of this is alleged, I have to say. But things get even more intense when Jack alleges Sienna would break into his house in the middle of the night.
She would constantly come to my house. Remember my
That's a good first speedrunning game. Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine.
Like, get out of my house, because I was so sick of her just like breaking into my house. I would wake up and see her car just sitting outside at like 2 in the morning. She would break into my house, and when I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room, and I'd wake up to her hand in my pants, and it wasn't like the only time it happened too. I was so like used to it. I was so used to it that I don't know, it was just like normal for me that I didn't think there was such like a problem at all. Like, part of me wants to blame myself for being nice and sticking around after so many times, but now I realize that I was stuck in this like manipulative cycle of her acting like she extremely cared about me.
Yeah, she's like a fucking supervillain.
She would do stuff to
wanting
me, and it was
fuck
just
Jack.
so normal for me. I got used to it.
Painting a horrific picture of waking up in the middle of the night.
How does all this happen before you raise a red flag, though? You've clearly not been around a ton of people. People you think are a friend, you'll ignore a ton of flags for. Happens all the time, even if it's not romantic. I am holding in a pee-pee really badly, though, so I'm gonna go tinkle real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm back.
with Sienna in his room, her hand down his pants. Occurrences that were so frequent, he saw them as normal. There was one time he describes in which Sienna had broken in once again during the middle of the night and was kicked out of his room after touching his crotch area and attempting to make out with him. He finally locked her out of the room and fell asleep on the floor, in his own words.
Same old, same old. I'd say, Sienna, stop, go back to the couch, Sienna, stop. So I locked the door, she was trying to get in, and I literally just slept on the floor.
No, I've never speed ran Max Payne.
Went to bed. It's very awkward the next morning, and she'll say sorry, and I'm like, Sienna, this happens so many times. You do not respect boundaries. You just, oh my God.
Her family even planning their own trip to Hawaii around the dates they knew Jack's family would be there at his father's beach house. When Sienna went back home before Jack, he didn't even want to go because he knew she'd find a way to be around him. To Jack, it felt like being caught
a beach house in Hawaii. How much must that cost?
Sienna always doing whatever she could to ignore boundaries and take advantage of him. This is the part where things went public, thanks to Mason's tweet. Once the allegations were out there, Jack was met with similar testimonies from guys who had allegedly had their own experience with Sienna in LA. Jack ended his own testimony by saying the following.
We don't want her to hurt anybody else. We don't want anyone to go through that experience. I don't think I'll ever be the same person I was before Sienna. I don't know if she'll ever be sorry. I don't know if she'll ever learn from what she did or she'll ever admit to what she did.
Did she ever admit to it? When I was peeing, I checked if she still posts. She doesn't.
Do this to other people.
Just days later, Sienna then put out another statement, definitely drafted by a legal team, which I will not be reading in full because it's just too long, but I want to give you the highlights. Unfortunately, Jack Wright continues his campaign to slander Sienna Mae Gomez with further false accusations. His latest falsehoods in a highly edited video show that once again Jack is making a calculated action to hinder, hurt, and harm and not only Sienna's reputation and livelihood, but her as an individual human being as well. Sienna unequivocally denies these accusations, as written in the statement. Other than spreading falsehoods about Sienna online, Jack has taken no action. There has been no police investigation, not even a police report to our knowledge. No charges, no private lawsuit, and no contact between Sienna and Jack or their respective legal teams in many months. It was always Sienna's desire and intention to handle this privately versus in the court of public opinion, which I just have to stop, doesn't make sense because of the sheer amount of statements she's made, but regardless, she would never want to sensationalize or degrade the seriousness of the situation. Sadly, Jack's blatant disregard for the truth has left us with no choice but to address these claims publicly. They go on to deny his claims that she broke into his house, and saying that Jack and his collaborators have attempted to utilize blatant slut-shaming culture to justify their fictitious claims and have effectively victimize a successful woman of color in a way that regrettably we have seen many times before, all in an effort to use her suffering as a catalyst for their own personal gain.
They really tried to play everything.
Final sentence. With Jack then coming out with his own counter response to Sienna's response, reiterating that every word in his video is still the truth and that he hopes she continues to get the help she needs so this never happens again. From there, things went quiet on Sienna's end. She stopped being active for the first time since June, but Sienna wouldn't be gone forever. In fact, it wasn't long before she reared her head yet again, responding to the heavy claims on a Barstool podcast. You can't make this up. On February 23rd, 2022, Sienna Mae returned to the public eye with an appearance on the BFFs podcast hosted by Dave Portnoy, the CEO of Barstool Sports, who you may remember is a proud investor of the infamous crypto coin SafeMoon, which turned out to be a worthless pyramid scheme.
Hey, SafeMooners!
To fire and sue his employees on the spot for wanting to unionize. Or you may know his abundant legal history. Whatever the case may be, Dave Portnoy, alongside his co-hosts who are half his age, brought Sienna back on the program after having her on just a year prior.
Right. I actually saw Dave Portnoy in real world once when we went to that god-awful fucking Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. Dave Portnoy was there, and he was leaving the stadium, and one person asked for a picture with him, so he turned around and asked if anyone else wanted a picture with him, and nobody said anything. That's the only experience I've had with Dave Portnoy. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, I like his pizza reviews, though. I don't know too much about the guy, but that situation was pretty awesome. Shit was great.
for an episode that definitely aged well. In this episode, Sienna doesn't even appear until the 30-minute mark. Everything before that is just,
J. Cole, Travis Scott, Harriet Tubman.
Let me get a replay.
Hey, I don't even see
Tubman.
what's wrong with Harriet Tubman or Tubman.
You
or
said Harriet
the hell it was.
Tubman.
What's the name? Tubman?
Yes.
Eventually, introduced alongside her lawyer and so-called forensic expert, Sienna already starts off on a bizarre note, as Dave is quick to point out at the beginning of the interview.
I came in and I was like, holy shit, am I in the right Zoom room?
Yeah.
What is going on?
So is this your choice or their choice to be like, we want to be on the call with you?
It's a little intimidating, I feel you, but no. I want to talk about my emotional state, and like I feel like what I want to touch on is like how I'm doing and like the emotional questions that I know you guys are gonna ask. But as for like the legal and like the so what's going on questions, that's for them to answer, because like I don't want to. I don't want to butcher anything. This is all like now it's serious, you know, like. Social media.
What a blunder.
Okay, yeah. So
why would you go to an interview on something like this and bring lawyers? That just makes it look significantly worse. Hey, Charlie, you did something bad. Do you want to talk about it? Yeah. And I'm bringing an entire legal team, too. Okay.
Just ignore the question altogether.
There has been absolutely nothing by way of an investigation or any kind of legal proceeding filed. Honestly, at the end of the day, this is all just a video online.
Sienna's a wonderful, amazing, and very likable lawyer comes out of the gate by clarifying at the beginning that there is no current legal proceeding going on. So it almost makes you wonder why there's even a lawyer present then. In fact, I do have to give props to Dave in this one instance for raising that very question.
If there hasn't been a legal issue, like, why are you here? She can't, like, there's nothing going on. She could theoretically answer for herself.
Because obviously there have been allegations made after so long of just going back and forth online, and it's all just social media talking back and forth. It was time to actually bring in some professionals who are going to talk about what's really real.
It got a weird response. It's not like she knows the situation any better than, say, Jack would. So I'm not sure why she's even giving herself so much credibility when there isn't a legal proceeding happening. To me, it just feels like an intimidation tactic. And as she said, she does feel like it'll quiet people down.
Do you think you bringing in the lawyer team and everything, do you think that's going to bring more attention to the situation, or do you think that's to, like, kind of quiet people down? Or it's going to quiet people down?
I think it is going to quiet people down, because it's just like, I literally have my lawyer sitting right here next to me telling you guys and whoever's going to see this now that there's nothing being done. Like, I just kind of like, all right, I'm going to let my team like just talk about this one and kind of like.
She has the worst PR team of all
time.
time.
That told you to do the interpretive dance.
Holy shit.
I'm thinking you should probably be worried. Something interesting I noticed is when Sienna said this.
What was your initial reaction to Jack? Like, did you reach out to him? What did you say? What was that conversation? There was nothing?
So I haven't talked to him in literally since our last trip to Hawaii together. The last time I literally saw him was before I got on my flight, and we haven't talked since.
I cannot imagine why Sienna would not personally or privately reach out to Jack after the initial claims came out. Even before his statement, when it was just his friends making the claims, what could possibly compel Sienna, if she were truly innocent, to not reach out to Jack behind closed doors in an attempt to figure out what's going on?
Her PR team told her not to.
Me. Sienna then goes on to weirdly admit that she had hopes of marrying Jack. When the two had never even gotten to the point of dating, he made it clear he did not want to be with her, and she still persisted, according to what's been claimed.
I really loved him, and I was like, I'm gonna get married to this guy, like this is the one. Like, I was so stoked on him. Man,
that is such weird behavior. Bro, if this was a guy saying this, it would be much differently received. This is like actual incel shit. They were never even dating or anything at all. Talking about like marriage and shit. This is the one. Exit Prime, Gizmo, Thebe, and Dermot. Yeah, that is like real stalkerish behavior right there.
Because of like the views that it would get, and it would get a ton of views on my accounts too. I think we both kind of like saw that as a business transaction. I was personally, between us, like super into it, and he knew that I was, and I think he also knew that he wasn't. And that's where things got messy.
Did you realize he wasn't into it and you were still pursuing it, or you
Is it prime
didn't
cool beans
realize?
and
We would
Marquette?
kiss. Also, I just want to reiterate, we never had sex. We literally never did anything other than kiss.
Sienna likes to emphasize that the two had never had sex, as if this was ever something Jack claimed, and I'm surprised Sienna keeps harping on it, even with her lawyer sitting right next to her. She absolutely cannot, for some reason, answer Dave's question of, well, did you know he wasn't
into it and you were still pursuing it?
Instead, all of her answers are keeping the best interests of Sienna in mind, and how
Wait, does she have two lawyers
all of
here?
her answers are
Wait, is this one of the normal hosts on Portnoy's show? This doesn't seem like the company Dave Portnoy would keep. She brought two lawyers? What the fuck? Hey, can I get Saul Goodman over here and then, I don't know, someone else, please? I really need to make an impression.
Are keeping the best interests of Sienna.
Oh my god, you're right. Wait, they are in the same room, all of them.
And you're still pursuing it?
Instead, all of her answers are...
Yeah, you're right. It's the same plants. I knew she was here because she reached out and patted her on the shoulder or whatever, slapped her in the face, God only knows. But yeah, I didn't realize this guy's in the same place too. Unless he has just been like deep faked in here. I mean, he does look kind of Pixar-esque.
Are keeping the best interests of Sienna in mind, and how she was misled the entire time. Even though from what she's describing, it doesn't sound to me like he had any intentions of pursuing a relationship outside of the romantic TikToks.
It was interesting. Like my initial reaction when I saw his long video is how cut up it was. It was like a jump cut every 2 seconds. But Bree brings up a good point. Like, why? Like,
why would he be posting 17-minute YouTube videos, like bawling his eyes out on the internet, if there was no truth behind what he was saying?
Look, correct. Here's the thing. I'm going to jump in again. Here's the thing. We can't speculate as to why he did it, or what he thought of. We can't speculate. But, you know, to Bree's point, they're nothing but statements. They're just statements.
After not knowing why Jack would cry in front of 20 million people in order to falsely slander Sienna's name, we reached the climax of the interview, where Sienna's forensic specialist breaks down the infamous video and analyzes it, basically writing everything off as too short to count as evidence in a court of law.
The National Center for Audio and Video Forensics was retained to perform an analysis on a cell phone video posted to social media. I was asked if the video could be used as credible evidence of the accusations against Ms. Gomez. In short, no. The posted video is not credible evidence of these accusations. The video is not original. The video has been heavily altered. The video
based on what?
No context to the events.
Wait, how did...
The video is not credible.
Well, I think we need to clarify in these first two statements. This would be huge if you can prove the video has been heavily altered. You're telling me someone actually did CGI this shit in here? You're gonna need to, like, clarify here. That would blow this whole thing wide open. The video doesn't exist. Yeah. Point 5. The video is not real. In fact, nothing's real. What is solipsism?
Of the accusations against Ms. Gomez.
I feel like that was a bad CSI video. I mean, my instinct is people are going to be like, that's a guilty video. It felt like a bad movie.
Actually very funny. They shred this video in front of the guy who made it. But I have to say it's hard to deny the video is short and doesn't show the events leading up to and after what is taking place, an alleged assault. But this weird Fiverr looking edit isn't exactly helping her image. Going on to accuse someone out there, maybe even Jack, of botting her, in addition to really emphasizing how much hate she's been getting online since these allegations broke. With absolutely no care for Jack or the same horrible messages I have to assume he's been getting from her fans.
It's something though that we've actually become kind of used to and kind of shrug off. Like, of course there's botting going on. But I do want to make the point, it's illegal.
Are you insinuating that Jack did it? The botting?
Good question.
Yeah, we don't know if he did it yet.
I have to say the one thing Sienna may actually be good at is digging her grave even deeper, because throughout this entire video she comes across as nothing but inauthentic and unnecessarily intimidating. It just isn't a good look. And even if we're going by the court of public opinion, one glance at the comment section would seem to indicate a loss on that front too.
She says, the last thing I would ever want to do is breach someone's boundaries, and for that I have become explicitly aware of the way I interact with others and will do better. I think she'll be more cautious going into the future because of this, but I still don't think she understands. Because someone talked to you about their boundaries and you continued to break them. So it's not like boundaries had to come to your attention. Like, you knew. You just didn't do anything about it.
Sienna's responses throughout this entire situation have not been helping her at all. In my mind, everything she's tried to do here has backfired. The fact of the matter is, there are two conflicting narratives. One is that Sienna has been falsely accused of assault by a man who manipulated and led her on by intentionally giving her mixed signals, only to maliciously launch an attack on her reputation in the end, or that Sienna is not the person she claims so adamantly to be online, that her issues with boundaries far surpass the smaller extent to which she's described so fleetingly in interviews, that she repeatedly chose to take advantage of Jack Wright when he was at his most vulnerable, keeping him at arm's length no matter where they went due to her bizarre, ignorant, and selfish infatuation with a boy who clearly didn't reciprocate feelings. I personally believe the latter. After everything Jack has said and personally testified against, it's hard for me to look at this video as anything other than the truth, even if saying that could get me crucified by Sienna's legal team. However,
I don't know, man. Her legal team doesn't seem that adept. This guy actually put together a fucking CSGO montage to prove why the video is bad without any evidence. He just said 4 points. It's not original. It's heavily altered. Like, with nothing else there. It's kind of worthless. You're probably fine.
By Sienna's legal team. However, the one truth that remains absolutely undisputed is that Sienna May has dug her own grave. Whether it be with weak video responses or a complete interpretive dance to the lyrics "I'm young and did nothing wrong," it doesn't matter how young and inexperienced Sienna was when she goes to such extreme lengths to keep Jack and her critics at bay, as to not damage the precious reputation she's built on a mountain of lies and sick dance moves.
God, their dance apology is so fucking good. I love it. I wish more people would do that. That was interesting. TikTok influencers, man. Yeah. That'll do it. Alright, let's ride.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric, and I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this.
One of the worst I've ever seen. She definitely took notes from the other crappy
that was
ones.
the apology video?
YouTube comment described Only JS's public apology following just one of her numerous different TikTok controversies.
What is going on with you white saviors that keep trying to defend JS for saying N-word lover, bro? You must say it too.
This is what makes Only JS's story unique. Despite having incredibly uncontroversial content,
if you're at a house party and you got a drink in your hand, don't hold it up here by your chest. Try to hold it more down towards your hip. This will make you seem more open and confident, and people will be more willing to come up and talk to you.
She's found
not true. You could just be a giant fucking loser and you could put that beer bottle up your butthole. It's not gonna help. So bad advice. Stop giving people false hope. You might just suck. And you have to accept that.
Found herself in a big scandal on the political TikTok battlefield every couple of months for the last 3 years.
At this point, people of color should not be following Only JS.
Why is Only JS more prone to getting involved in these types of controversies? Is it something to do with how she responds to those critical of her?
I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my priority?
After a petition to ban Only JS from TikTok garnered over 400,000 signatures, it'd be safe to say that she's a contender for the platform's most hated creator.
Did the petition work? Petitions have always, like, historically been incredibly effective. So I'm assuming that, let's see, I'm assuming that worked. Let's see how we're looking. She's gone up 4,200,000, or nope, exactly 4 million followers. Bro, these petitions are so effective. Not bad. Looking good. And thanks to the Prime Saturn and the resub Batmeg.
creator. And while such a title seems unfair without any further information or knowledge, as we go through explaining how this hatred came to be, the reason for this title will become blatantly obvious, and it all began with a tweet made by OnlyJS on the 9th of April 2020, just 12 months after she began posting videos to the website. I constantly feel like nobody actually likes me, so when I see thousands of hate comments saying, yeah, I never liked OnlyJS, she's so annoying, JS seems like a horrible person, that pushed me to the edge. The harsh and possibly even backwards reality of life is that those who acknowledge and complain about hate only end up receiving
You won't like
hate.
me when
In the
I'm
beginning, OnlyJS likely received a pretty standard amount of negative feedback, owing to maybe a slightly annoying delivery as she mentioned in her tweet. The problem that OnlyJS had was that she really struggled to ignore criticism, and always seemed to give way too much attention to any situation in which there was some kind of negative sentiment against her name. It's got to be a running theme throughout this whole video, but it started with her simple inability to ignore basic negative comments, such as, yeah, I never liked OnlyJS, which is a pretty tame comment, giving her a foundational reputation as someone who would crack if you simply applied enough pressure. 3 months later, this reputation as a creator who would respond to negative criticism would continue after OnlyJS discovered that another creator by the name of the Jonathan Moss had been copying some of her videos word for word.
Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you?
Yo, did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on you and the things that can happen to you in your life?
People born in March are way more likely to have asthma, and I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma.
What the fuck are you talking about? What? Is that real? Like, these are things she actually believes in? Or is this like some kind of TikTok meme I don't understand? Who the fuck actually believes that? Why do people just like want to disregard basic reasoning? Jesus Christ. Astrology's one thing, like it's harmless. Like you can believe in astrology, it doesn't really matter or whatever. Like zodiacs dictate who you fall in love with, what or whatever, your lottery numbers, it doesn't matter, it's harmless. But do people parade it around as like actual real things? Like your birth month changes you? Or has an effect on your life? There's no way people actually like believe in that shit. God damn, that's crazy. What the fuck? Damn. Thanks to the bits, Tori.
In March are actually more likely to have asthma. And I can speak to that because my cousin, the only person born in March, has asthma.
OnlyJS would respond to the copied videos in a tweet reading, TikTok creators should be called out when they copy other TikTok creators' videos word for word, alongside a video calling out the Jonathan Moss directly. Jonathan responded by stating that he'd simply found the information on Google, and as a result, OnlyJS was berated and mocked by her audience, with them stating that she was in the wrong for copying the information from Google. This information is from a website. Why are you copying a copier? Copied from Google, then complains when others do the same. Which Business Insider article is this from? There was clearly a bit of an injustice being done here. To state that her information was invalid because it was found on Google has got to be one of the dumbest arguments ever made. What did they expect her to do? Find some old 1850s foundational manuscript covered in dust at the National Library and take her facts from there? Jonathan Moss had clearly copied her videos word for word after OnlyJS had posted them originally, meaning there was no doubt about who copied who. However, OnlyJS was still painted as being in the wrong for one simple reason. They knew they could get a reaction out of her if they simply applied enough pressure, which they eventually would. After receiving hundreds of negative comments on her response, OnlyJS would take to Reddit stating, he said that he found it on Google, which I mean he did, but only after watching my video. I'm now getting a huge amount of hate, people saying I'm lying. I copied Google too, I'm problematic, I should be cancelled, etc. I have a hard time dealing with the negativity. I still don't know what to do. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Maybe you do, but honestly, I don't see it.
What are they talking about? It's not even like real anything. It's fucking nonsense. What is? You got this information from a Google source. Oh my god. Holy shit, yeah, it's like a full-blown Reddit post. Nice. Man, TikTok is just like its own little ecosystem of degeneracy. Oh, wild.
On her response, OnlyJS would take to Reddit stating, he said that he found it on Google, which I mean he did, but only after watching my video. I'm now getting a huge amount of hate, people dealing with the negativity. I still don't know what to do. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Maybe you do, but honestly, I don't see it. Now, you probably wouldn't go so far as to say that only JS was playing the victim, but she was once again complaining about the circumstances that she had found herself in. And to reiterate the point from earlier, complaining about hate doesn't make it go away, but rather amplifies it, as the audience will look for increasingly petty things to berate you for. With this in mind, it's barely surprising to find out that approximately 6 months later, an old message would be dug up in which only JS had said the N-word, taking center stage as her brand new colossal-sized controversy.
What the fuck was that? What is... Oh, yuck. Uh-oh. All about sucking up to Luna. Is that like astrology or something? I wonder what this is about. Ooh. The abortion didn't work. Oh boy, she's really going full-blown Xbox Live here. Even dropping the racism. Oh my, this is outrageous. On TikTok? Oh, come on now. Good, this was a heated gamer message. Shit got crazy. She went fucking insano style. I wonder what the controversy was. Like, what sparked this message? Explain how I'm sucking up to Luna. Maybe like fanfic or something, maybe? I don't know. Interesting.
Message would be dug up in which only JS had said the N-word, taking center stage as her brand new colossal-sized controversy.
I love you no matter your sex, your gender, your sexuality, your faith, or your race.
Guess that didn't age well, because this you, at the bottom calling someone the hard ER, a word used to oppress black people. That's why I don't trust people with savior complexes, bro. I feel like it's always a second agenda behind what you do. If you say it's 2 to 3 years old, you were 20 years old when you said it. The other day, Addison was canceled for old BLM tweets from 2016. Let's see if everyone keeps the same energy. You're a role model to 10 million people, bro. I hope things get better, and I hope you educate.
How did she respond, I wonder?
There were a couple of comments in support of only JS, however, as a whole, and understandably, the response was mostly negative. All these white people saying, it happened 4 years ago. Literally, it doesn't matter. She did it and needs to take responsibility. The hard ER, she's done. And at only JS, you got caught in 4K. The best way that JS could have responded to this expose would have either been no response at all, or a short, cool,
oh my god, she's in a Rolls Royce. Is this where she did her apology video? This is a Rolls Royce, right? They're the only ones that do this Starlight thing, right? So she was born rich? That's nuts. It's not a Royce? I thought they had a patent on this. We watched the whole video on the dog shit Rolls Royce does. I thought they had the literal patent on being able to do this in the interior of a car. Oh, it's a filter. I don't think it's a filter. What the fuck? Now I sound like an idiot. It's not a filter. It's a custom. It's a custom Mercedes. It's a custom Mercedes top. Oh. Okay, I see. Alright, maybe I'm misremembering the video, but I remember Rolls-Royce made a huge deal about their ability to put stars in the roof of the interior and them being the only ones allowed to do it. They had if I remember correctly, they have a full-time star guy. His whole job is putting stars that light up in the roof of Rolls-Royces. I'm pretty sure they must have some kind of patent or like a stranglehold on the technology. They have one designated Grandmaster Star Lord for their vehicles.
Or video. Alternatively, she could have thrown a real curveball and simply said, I'm not sorry, which would have actually been respectable, but she did this it's 100 times harder than simply getting in front of the camera and blurting out some pre-written stupid script with the goal of suppressing the criticism in the short term. However, with a track record like only JS, obviously she did none of these, and rather posted a long, emotionally charged, scripted, generic social media apology, which felt as though it was designed to trick the audience into coming away with a specific feeling, as is usually the case with these types of public apologies.
And there is no excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better. And when I first saw the screenshots, I didn't even think that they were real because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be.
Another YouTuber slash TikToker by the name of Papa Gut, who spoke to JS on the phone prior to the apology, thought that the intentions were sincere and that the apology was simply delivered poorly.
I actually had a conversation, a private phone call conversation with JS about this situation. She seemed pretty sincere about how sorry she was. Again,
well,
like
I imagine
said,
she would be
genuine. What she produced was rough. It was less than stellar.
Others such as Freak the Gemini were less optimistic.
You literally hit us with a Playboy Cardi album. All that suspense just for it to be trash. The worst insult you could tell somebody was liking black people. Wow.
With the scandal being shared across every platform imaginable.
Was that in her apology video? Alright, let me just look at the apology video. Hold on, let's get caught up to speed here. Alright, I don't like not knowing exactly everything that's happened here. Let's see. Is this it? I'm assuming it's this one. Hey, thank you for the 10 gift subs, Off Learner. Thank you for that. Well, no, I'm assuming it was longer. She had 2, and Sunny was just showing clips. I'm assuming it's this one.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others.
Oh, it was in the message text. Oh, I thought it was in the video.
And I understood the power behind it, but
gotcha,
I said
sorry.
it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of, and I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the black community because only you guys can forgive me for this, and there is no excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better. And when I first saw the screenshots, I didn't even think that they were real because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be. And
why aren't you crying? And where's your dog?
Knowing that I said those things. But the screenshots and the things I've said in my past are not a reflection of who I am today. And I am so grateful for the people in my life that I met after high school, in college, at my previous jobs, and on TikTok who took their time to educate me on their experiences. Because listening to them was so powerful and a real reality check for me. So I want to take this time to take a step back and share my platform with some amazing black creators who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language. I know that my words hurt people, and I know that my words have consequences.
Well, not really. The consequences were 4 million new followers, actually.
But I am so deeply
Seemed to walk away pretty strong.
For all the pain that I've caused.
Wow. Nice. Well, I mean, it worked.
Of her sponsors, as well as a Netflix podcast she'd been hosting by the name of Know It All. At Tinder, this is what your walking ad is saying. She has a Netflix podcast.
Being something better.
To her credit, she did acknowledge that it was a grift in the title stating,
what?
I know it might come off as performative, talking about this at the end of Black History.
I'm gonna hit you with the cold water. If you need to buy a book on how not to be racist, you've already failed. I think you're already too far gone. What the fuck? Hey guys, I just picked up this book on why murder isn't awesome, and it was a real eye-opener for me. Like, it made some points that I never even really stopped to consider, and I think if any of you are considering murder, you might want to check out this book. Like, it really might steer you in the other direction.
Month, but I'm trying to just educate myself and use my platform for good. However, her audience wasn't buying any of the lies. I bet after this video she just tossed the book like it's nothing. That seems like an amazing book for you, but I think you missed some pages. Maybe you missed a few chapters, read it again. But hey, at least she was still in the process of sharing her platform with some other black content creators as she promised, right? Well, no.
So this message is for you only, Jay, after your whole N-word debacle. Said you want to collaborate with me. We email, and suddenly you've dropped off the face of the earth. Are black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play? If you were really truly sorry about what you said, you would not have lied and said you were going to do something you clearly aren't trying to do.
The TikTok essentially outlined that after agreeing to collaborate, only JS would ghost this creator by the name of Aunt Karen once everyone had forgotten about the drama. Now, to only JS's credit, Aunt Karen's call-out was even more pathetic than JS's original apology, because setting up a collaboration with another creator can be incredibly difficult. There's always problems relating to difference in content style, difference in schedule, difference in time zones, the problem of coming up with
well, then don't say you're gonna do it.
Both audiences, what part of the script
I disagree with that statement,
etc., etc.
I still think JS is the worst one here.
Call-out was, because only JS ghosted me, she's therefore a racist.
Why not just be racist? Just say you're racist.
Now, maybe there was some racism involved in the decision, who knows? But it's still a lazy, low-hanging fruit argument designed to create drama out of the highly likely reality, being that collaborations are just incredibly difficult to set up successfully. In addition to this, a feature on only JS's page with over 10 million followers is going to cost a brand probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, and despite only JS offering one of these spots to Aunt Karen for free, Aunt Karen still seemed to narcissistically think that she was the one providing only JS with the opportunity.
I really gave you an opportunity. I really said, you know what, Aunt Karen? Let's see what she has to say. Let's see how we can mutually help each other.
Aunt Karen's call-out was entitled and poorly thought out, but not invalid for one simple reason. Only JS made a promise. There are obviously exceptions, but most of the time, if you say you're going to do something publicly, you have to follow through with it or people are going to notice. JS would initially discuss the ghosting in an Instagram voice message.
So I am sorry for basically ghosting you. I didn't mean to do that. I just have a very chaotic schedule and ADHD on top of that, so I genuinely just forgot, and it wasn't me trying to ignore you. You could have just hit me up again, but instead you decided to go public and try to add public pressure onto me, and that's not cool, so I don't want to collaborate.
Which will once again receive a response from Aunt Karen, explaining that she had emailed only JS multiple times with no reply.
You're gonna put it on me? In your voicemail, you said I should have emailed you again.
Viral
April 4th,
Nation?
I emailed you. How many times
That sounds like a
do you
scam.
expect me to message you, waiting on you to continuously ghost me?
Now, only JS probably could have left it at that, and the drama would have been over within 4
Makes me
weeks.
some blue fire
However,
into your
as
one
Papa
cookie.
Gut said most accurately,
For whatever reason, JS doesn't know how to just stop. Like when somebody criticizes JS, JS responds, and that's the worst thing.
and in classic only JS fashion, she'd post another emotionally charged response to the drama. JS couldn't even make jokes anymore without being cancelled. Seriously. On the 23rd of May 2021, only JS would post the following video.
If a service dog ever approaches you but they're alone, that means that their owner is in trouble and they probably can't move, so you should follow him, because you'll get a free wallet.
It was clearly a light-hearted joke, summed up in comments such as, she probably said the wallet thing to lighten the mood of something bad. Obviously, she wouldn't take a wallet and probably knew that most people would. Bro, do people get this as a joke? Y'all are so sensitive. However, the rest of her audience simply saw yet another opportunity to put only JS through another period of hardship. Can't believe this is still up. It's obvious that it's a joke, but some people may still do it. It could start a trend. What you post on the internet reaches so many people, and some of those people
What are you talking about? How often is a service dog going to be approaching people and lead them to someone who is injured? That surely can't be such a frequent occurrence that it could start a trend on TikTok. What in the fuck is going on over there? Like, it's not a good joke or anything. Like, it's just a pretty generic one. It's like something that your grandpa would send you in like an old email chain. But like, why are they pretending like it's somehow like a terrible thing? It's like, oh my god, someone might actually do this. I see a service dog like once every 6 months, maybe.
inconsiderate or apathetic towards others and do something wrong as a joke that highly affects another person. Take some YouTube and TikTok prank channels for example.
When is it going to be enough to say only JS is not a good creator, should not be followed, and should not be listened to? My child, they are a service dog user. This is not a kind of joke you want to be putting out there. It's not funny to anybody who uses a service dog.
With all this in mind, the petition with over 400,000 signatures to have only JS banned is barely a surprise. She dug herself into a hole by displaying an inability to switch off from the audience after being involved in scandal after scandal after scandal. Sometimes criticism from the audience is genuine and can be spotted easily because it's worded in a constructive way, but a lot of the time, without them even realizing it, people write mean or critical things just to see if you're the type of person to crack, respond, or apologize, as has been the case throughout only JS's entire TikTok career. She's been tested over and over and over, yet has been unable to switch off and let things go whenever she's been put under pressure. As an end result, there's not only a
Seems like she's only done 2 apology videos.
Negativity and hatred.
I thought it was gonna be a lot more. That was interesting. I never heard of any of that. Let's see how so she's gone up 4 million subscribers since this video. So she's doing pretty well on that front, or followers. So she's doing well there. What do the comments say? Do they still bring it up? Here, she posted 6 hours ago. No, just everyone being supportive. Yeah, she's doing just fine on TikTok. I know she's big on YouTube too, so let's see how that's going. Let's take a peek. $3 million subs. Her views pop off. Yeah. Seems like everything's on the up and up.